How long has it been, Dan? I said 4 weeks.
I think it's been longer than that. I think it's been 6, but I released these in a little bit of a trickle, so it may not be as bad for the audience, but for us, I believe it's been 6 weeks since the last game.
Okay. So, I'm not going to do anything real different. I'm not going to take any Fear the Boot. Like, we've done different advice topics on how to start a game after a pause or anything like that. I'm not going to really do that here for 2 reasons. One, we stopped in the middle of action. I mean, literally, you guys were getting sprayed with a death gun. Yeah. So there's not like, oh, well, we're going to go back and explore Dr. Proust's childhood. No, you guys are getting fucking shot. That's great. I appreciate that, because one of the things I freaking hate is when TV shows leave something in the middle of a cliffhanger, and then like the next episode starts with like
cliff show
3 months prior.
Right.
Hey, remember this?
Hey, it's the bikini episode, and the tone is different too.
Yeah,
like the tone is heartwarming.
Well, because they cut out like the important shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as I said, it'll start off with 3 months ago, and maybe it's even somehow relevant to the action, but I don't care at this point.
So for this game, I started doing notes a bit, and then I went away from that, and I do a lot of improv. But the thing with my improv is not I fart around all week, I don't do anything, and I show up, and I'm like, okay, yeah, all right, here's the plot. I think about it. I'm thinking about the story. I'm turning, because your guys' characters are so great. I'm like running them through scenarios in my mind and stuff. What would work? What wouldn't? Trying to cultivate ideas. Like you said, it's been like 6 weeks. About a week and a half ago, I kind of like stopped.
All right. So I'm going to do my best, and then Wayne can correct me where I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So we were on a train. We're headed to a city that's largely under the control of demonic powers.
Well,
or at least demons are more accepted there than they would be.
Strangers?
Yeah.
Hey, that's their word.
Yeah, come on, John.
Right.
I can do better faux racism than this.
So you guys...
It's not his fault they didn't have people from that country in... the video game is based off of.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm sorry that Arcane and Bethsoft didn't give you a name to rip off.
Mm-hmm. Burn. Okay, so here's what I want to do.
They call them Weepers, or what are the ones in the second game? The Nest Guardians?
I never played the second game.
Oh, you should. I'm in the middle of it right. I won't spoil it for you then, because I just kind of.
The thing is, I hate Dishonored. I hated it.
Really?
Really? I didn't like it.
Did you play the expansion?
Yes.
With Dowd, where you play Dowd? You played the assassin?
So the one where they're cutting up the whales and stuff? Did you play that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. The campaign I ran before that is entirely ripped off of that DLC.
Oh, wow. All right, well, dude, you should play. So
no, but I have played Dowd. I've done
yeah.
I played all the DLCs.
And so it's like the Knife of Dunwall.
Yep.
And then
the Witches.
The Brigmore Witches.
Yeah. I played them. I played them all.
Yeah, the Brigmore Witches is a direct setup to the plot of Dishonored, too.
I don't like Dishonored. Because their stealth, it is a stealth game, and their stealth sucks.
It gets better in the second game.
You don't have to stealth.
No, believe me, I didn't.
No.
I turned the world upside down.
The stealth gets much better in the second game.
So many rats. All the rats.
Just a sea of rats killing everybody.
Dwayne can tell you, my first 2 campaigns, a lot of rats.
Yeah.
I do love the animation of rats killing people.
All right.
Because they like climb through the mouth and shit.
Yeah. Okay, so
what happened?
Well, what I want to do is let's do a recap, and then we're going to go around the table, and I want you to tell me your position in the scene, not necessarily physically, but also like.
I was going to cover that too, because I actually remember.
Well, yeah, but I want to see what everyone.
So we're a royal bodyguard. We've just been betrayed by the government.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, that's true. Everybody gets a mask. I'm going to prove my innocence of murder by murdering people.
I didn't murder anybody, but
I did.
I know, but I doubt I did. But all right, it was point. So we were on this train headed.
Are you doing the recap?
Yeah.
Holy shit! Sorry, Wayne.
He's trying to
whatever to whatever the demon lands are that.
Acarios.
Yeah.
They're not necessarily demon lands, but they don't. Anyway,
they're on no man's land.
Yeah. And so
you'll find out.
While we were on the way there, the train started slowing down and was allowing a second train to catch up. And so...
Unbeknownst to you.
Yeah, unbeknownst to us. So what we ended up with was we got attacked by a bunch of people that are apparently to be honest, probably a step above us on the ladder, maybe 2 steps, because they had not only a good plan, they also had
They had a plan, unlike you.
Well, but they
They're
also
so nice. They were offering cigarettes and being very sweet.
But they had like
Free
these
smokes,
they had like these shadow cloaks that allow them to like drop in and out of reality, and they could like have 3 people standing where only one of them is standing, and
The
shit,
rollers hired someone competent.
shit we don't have access to. And
No, you
Competent
do.
oh, okay.
We actually have those people in our game.
Okay, well, somebody here is not playing their characters well.
Oh no,
No,
you're
little
playing your
Garrett.
characters great.
No, we're playing our characters
from my perspective.
The only characters that can do that are Little Garrett and Janny.
Oh, okay.
They are literally those women.
So, anywho, they start trying to set up a robbery and are trying to get the briefcase that have the lenses.
Well, they weren't trying.
Well, right.
They pretty much succeeded.
They pretty much succeeded, though we stopped them from getting away with
Yes,
it.
yeah.
They succeeded in stealing. So they knocked out the dude's name, I forget. Callum.
Yep.
They knock out Callum. They run him up to the roof. They chain him to something, and they
There's like a winch that.
they take him. They get the briefcase off his arm.
No. I think it's still on his arm.
It's on his arm.
It's on his arm.
Yeah,
Okay.
'cause
they're
you-
stealing him with it.
Yeah, you guys were inserted yourself before. They
Yeah.
did.
All right. So they pull him up. So we get in a fight with them. That and the 3 railjacks get out there. And
2.
Well, there's 3 of them because there was the short dude, the woman,
Tim
and
the Railjack and Sven the Railjack, the ice blonde.
Yeah, those are the only two.
Oh, I thought we had 3.
Flint.
No, because Tiny Tim went overboard.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So there's 3 original. Yeah.
No,
No.
no, I just called him Tiny.
He's
Tim.
one of the 2. Is there only one now?
Timothy Flint
Yeah.
is the
Oh,
Railjack.
so the
He's
one
the
who-
nice guy, salt of the earth.
Tiny Tim
Okay.
Flint.
Yeah, Tim
Okay.
Flint
All right.
is a
Well,
fucking hero.
he's in the he's in the ocean now.
Yes, he
Uncle
is.
Triggle's going to suck
And
this dude's
so-
dick.
We still have
That's where he got his namesake.
so we still have Ice Blonde, and
Yes.
then we were fighting him in the middle of this because the train had slowed down, and Proust had just saved Broder's character Alexander,
In the most Blades way possible,
Yes.
which is amazing.
and then realizing that there was more to this going on because the train was slowing down. Proust went up to the conductor and found
he
him.
was.
Yeah, so
money.
Proust took that money from him and was in the process.
Did Proust take the money, or was it more like that money's tainted? You're gonna
Nope. He straight took the money. What's funny? Proust is now up to 4 coins.
Yeah.
And he doesn't. He's more wealthy.
money.
He's more wealthy than the rest of the gang combined, including the gang itself. And
Quick note: remind me of that when we do downtime, because you can only hold so much coin.
okay,
on a person.
so I think 4 is the
Which is
limit.
4.
It's 4. I think he's at the limit of the amount he can carry. But the point being, though, that he was about to have a come to Jesus moment.
Where Jesus wasn't involved.
Yeah,
at
without
all.
sans Jesus, just
Yeah.
more of a hey buddy moment with this guy, and that was where we left
Hey,
off.
buddy.
And at the same time, Wayne's character was in the shitter, everyone else was on the roof, and this was when the rollers pulled up with some kind of it was some kind of like Gatling gun or chain gun or gravity feeder. It was a rapid fire gun,
Right.
And
It was not World War II sort of with a chain or anything, but you guys are too busy getting shot at to.
okay, so it
Yeah.
could be like the original Gatling gun was a gravity feeder.
Yeah, Reggie thinks Alex is dead
Yeah, it
because
was
he has been
hopper
saved.
that just dropped the ammo.
I wasn't even here, and my notes were already more useful than I was.
But the point is,
Yeah.
they had something we didn't outside of the cloaks. They also had more DACA.
Right, they did.
Wow, that's well done. Well
Thank
done.
Yeah, well done.
Broder, you need to start putting together a missile launcher.
Give yourself a conductor of some sort.
I'll go ahead and take Beethoven.
Okay. So I will take. Who's this? Bach. I'm going to hold on to Bach here. And if somebody like impresses me, makes me laugh, does something like really amazing, then
That's not fair. We always make you laugh, and you're never going to hand it out. Everybody laugh.
I know, right?
Come on.
I know. You just gotta.
That's like the just remind me. I'll give you.
All right. So Uncle Treacle, where do you recall
what is it,
yourself
fucking in
I
Savage
was.
Worlds?
Benny.
Benny. Yeah, I'll give you a Benny if you do one of these things.
I
We did
recall
those things
I
all
was-
night. No
I,
one got
I was swinging. I was swinging on the outside. I was
had used my climbing gear, and I had swung up on the outside. I think I was hanging down by the wheels.
It wasn't like an action Tarzan swing. It was like you're trying to get up and over, and then they're firing and that sort of thing.
You also P-tone what's his name to the actual train.
Yeah.
Oh, Callum.
Yeah, with the briefcase.
With my climbing
so
gear,
he's actually like he's on the train unless they remove.
And I did it through the link, not through his wrist.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I thought about doing it through his wrist.
Should have.
Awesome.
Should have.
I should have.
Yeah.
In retrospect.
Reggie is hulked out,
Do a flashback.
trying to fight two guys that are in and out of cloaked stealth.
Yeah, you hit the rage vial, and that's actually hindering you a bit. Now, if you land a punch,
They're fucking dead.
they're dead, but you can't. All you see is red. Yeah, and they're outmaneuvering you currently.
So Jack got tired of the really crappy toilet paper that's back on.
Actually,
so he was further up on the train in the nice car back.
pause that for a second. I'm gonna mention something because Wayne couldn't make it. We made him a Muppet. He was shitting his balls. Well, he was shitting his balls out and his soul out and everything out.
At Bad Fish.
Except Wayne bribed me. Okay, so I've got a thing where Kit Kats are okay. Japanese Kit Kats, which this is not, but
They're finally bringing the Japanese flavors.
yeah, they're bringing Japanese flavors here.
is not a Japanese flavor.
No. Well, I mean,
It's in the name.
Yeah. So Wayne knows this, and he knows how to bribe me with weird Kit Kat flavors, and he bribed me with a key lime pie, which is my favorite kind of pie.
Yeah,
In Kit Kat form.
Yeah.
And so he also gave me a fruity cereal Kit Kat, and I'm going to say that for later. So Wayne, Jack was in the bathroom, but he was not shitting his soul out. You're going to have a scene here because you effectively bribed me.
Okay. And I had a scene of jerking it instead of helping us.
I'm a corrupt official. What can I say?
He's
He
in
was shouldn't see
the Mile Low Club.
Yeah.
the Mile Low Club.
Oh. Where was Alex?
Did you say Mile Low?
Okay, so my lights killing me. So
No, I can hear you just fine.
I want to understand. So, if I recall correctly, you saved me on the roof, right?
Yes.
So I am on the roof, clinging for dear life, and clinging with one hand and searching my coat and bandoliers from the other for something useful in this encounter. As I look at those doors open up over the Gatling gun, I'm like, oh fuck!
Did you get knocked off before or after you were going to hit that chick in the face with an ampule?
With the who?
With a hydro needle.
I don't remember.
You were going to use some kind of paralyzing
I
poison.
believe-
and
Oh God,
toss
you're
her
right.
off.
Yeah.
So
I think you already did that,
Yeah, you
right?
already did that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So your save was actually you were flying off. Proust was in the car, broke the window, tossed out like the tablecloth, and you caught that, and he pulls. You basically climbed into the train car.
Gotcha.
With him.
Yeah, I didn't remember that specifically. So I'm in the train car then, instead of on the roof, on the floor,
Right.
doing the same thing, because I might have something for the situation.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought that might be useful since they're firing bullets.
Yes.
You're on
The
the-
cover. Yeah, cover's great.
That was one of the things I was thinking about was, the train goes through the Deadlands, so, are they is it armored plates? And I had mentioned that these aren't tank trains, but maybe there's a bit of armor, maybe like bulletproof glass type stuff to fend off the monsters. But no, you guys fucked that all up because Proust broke a window, and so they can't be. So, yeah, no. No one's safe. It's great. I love it. So Callum...
Wait, are those bulletproof windows?
Not anymore.
How the fuck did he break it then?
Because
they're not bulletproof windows. That's how he broke it.
In my mind, they were bulletproof until he broke it, and I hadn't established it.
I see. Yeah, I got it. I was like, what the fuck? Proust's the strongest character we fucking have. Boom. Are you sure he's not a cutter? What the fuck?
Well, I mean, maybe he's a cutter, but so for the NPCs, Callum is pinioned to the roof of the train. Luckily, he's laying down unconscious. You kill 2 of the Shadow Cloakers, and there are 2 more, which 2 of the guys. Are we saying that the train conductor or the engineer is gone. I
Oh,
mean,
no. Proust isn't killing him. We're going to have a
because I
discussion.
remember there was a debate, like,
No.
would he be worthy sort of thing, or
Proust
is this guy
took his money, and now, because you said he was like just totally stunned, and so Proust just took his money, and now Proust is going to have a discussion. Because, look, just straight up practicality here. Proust doesn't know how to engineer a train.
No. Well, that's fair. That's good, because I think that's about to come up, too.
Because it's like, go.
That's why he's going to at least get an opportunity to redeem himself.
What was the other railjack? What was her name? The Iron Blonde?
Ice Blonde.
Ice
Blonde. Ice Blonde. Okay.
Iron Blonde's her sister.
Oh my God, she is. But
They're a tag team.
Yep.
Oh my God! One's blonde, one's brunette.
Huh. Okay. So and when the gun opened up, basically I remember that God loves a madman, and the bullets were just whizzing by you. You didn't even notice them. The shadow cloakers were like diving into their cloaks and up and to get out of it. Callum was on the ground. He didn't get hit, so they were going over him. And the Ice Blonde or Iron Blonde? Ice Blonde.
She's the brunette.
She's the brunette. Don't confuse me.
It's like platinum blonde.
I'm trying to catch up after 6 weeks here. So she was just because she's very agile and stuff, and she's in her not powered armor, but the enhanced exoskeleton whatever thing. She was like jumping and diving and stuff. Timothy Flint had he had a discussion, I think, with whoever was in the bottom, like, what the fuck's going on? Oh, we're gonna attack. All right, well, let's get up there and kick some ass. He's on the roof. He was putting a spear together, and he was about to shish kebab the guy who was fighting you.
Yep.
When the other train opened the door and bop, 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 and swept the deck, hit him on his arm. His armor plates went flying. He bounced onto the top of the roof of the car and then over. I mean, way over and down. And there's this gigantic, not a Leviathan, but basically this Kraken type demon.
I forgot about the Leviathan.
Thing. I didn't.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Both trains are getting attacked by tentacles.
So the last game, I did not involve it because Eric brought it in as like a move sort of thing.
Yeah, I used the conductor piece.
Yeah. And so I had it kind of like, not helping you consciously, but it was more of just an obstacle for you guys. This is an advantage for you guys. Now that we're in this part of the game, it is now not there helping you. It is just as much of a danger to you as to them.
Because it made sense because we stopped. Like,
You stopped.
Wait, and normally these trains don't fucking stop over the ocean.
Right. So Treacle is on the side, like climbing up.
Right, and I'm assuming I'm on the other side from where the train is, so I just saw
Tracers.
Tim the railjack go like, I'm like, no! I'm tempted to like try and swing out the thing. I'd be like, it seemed like strong hands. My reason for living just died.
All right.
So now I'm pissed.
I'm gonna become a real Jack. Don't worry, Unc.
So okay, all that's going on. Now we're gonna rewind time.
Son of a bitch.
We're gonna rewind just a few minutes to bring Jack in.
No, okay, that's acceptable.
Bring Jack in. So you had a little bit of an upset stomach. These guys were giving you shit about how you couldn't hold anything and blah, 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 and you're crapping your guts out and stuff. That wasn't the case. You had to take a big dump, and you didn't want to take a dump in the station, man. It's you didn't want to miss the train, and you're just uncomfortable. But it's in your coach stuff. So you go in. Callum is there, and he's reading a newspaper or something. And he kind of waves. So you're like, and you go in, and you're like, ah! And you just crack the toilet seat in half.
Brother Grunt, or what were those cartoons?
Reggie, the rage vial. So
no more rage boots.
Rage boops.
I clench my teeth and shatter the seat.
So, you're saying that you do your business. You're cleaning up, you're kind of buttoning up your pants and your waistcoat and stuff. And you hear Callum, you don't hear the door open, but whatever. It's a train, clackety-clack, and all that sort of stuff. And you hear Callum say something to the effect of, usually when strange women enter my room, I kick them out. This isn't going to be an exception. Bonk! And something just happened out there.
I'm really happy that he went to Callum's room to take this shit and not our room to take the shit.
Right.
He went out of his way to go to their room to take the shit.
It's like going to a con with friends and going in their hotel room to take a shit.
Right.
Like,
Hey, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jackie.
Jackie's not stupid.
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's so good.
you've heard the sound of violence before, but it wasn't a fight. Somebody just knocked him out.
Okay.
So what do you do?
I finish up, and then I look out there and see, is he still out there?
You crack the door open and you peek out, and there is there's the woman, one of the women out there who with the cigarettes and earlier, and everyone was making a big deal about it. She is standing over Callum, who is unconscious, like just this. She hears the door. She turns around, and she goes, and she blows plot dust on you.
Plot dust!
Plot dust! Knock your ass out!
I have that in my bandolier. I have
right?
plot dust. Yeah. Yeah. No, I do.
where did she keep her plot dust?
I know. So you get hit right in the face with
That
it.
reminds me of a TikTok I saw.
You get hit right in the face with plot dust. You're knocked out, which brings us.
Nope, it's the butt buster poultice.
Which brings us to the current time, and you hear the sound of gunfire. You hear wham, 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 like that, and that wakes you up. And the bathroom, again, think Murder on the Orient Express type thing, wood paneling all around that. The wood panel starts to explode. Bullets starts flying through the bathroom. You're hearing screams, and the train's not moving, and you're like, what? And you wake up. So what does Jack do?
Okay.
Say why.
Bullets are coming from.
Say why, please.
Why? Out.
Why?
Why then pull up pants?
Yeah.
Bullets are coming through
Yeah.
from that way, so I'm gonna go that way,
Okay.
further up the train, away from where the bullets are going. I think feeling the train stopped, I would probably go for a spot where I can climb up, because at least as far as I see here, the bullets are going into the train. I don't know that they've shot above the train, so
Right. Yeah. I mean, Jack does know what's going
yeah,
on.
I'm trying to get up so I can see what's going on.
Okay. So you're maneuvering through. Who was in the car? So Treacle, if you can tear. No. If you turn around, you see Jack kind of making his way through the hallway between the berths.
Okay, so I see him run by.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Cinematically with the holes going into the side of the train behind me.
Right. Yeah. I mean, this is like tracers and stuff, and
hey, Sticky, over here. I'm like hanging there.
What the hell are you doing out
Get me
there?
out of there!
I know what you're doing. What are you doing?
I find my grenade, and I am girding myself against the suppressive nature of the gunfire, and I'm going to try to pitch a grenade using rec to the open car where the gun is firing. That is my goal.
Okay. So, let me ask the group something. This is like a meta question, not a team like Jackie and Reggie and Prowse, planning sort of thing. This is what is your guys' goal in the immediate here?
Get the train moving again at its top speed.
Smash the fuck out of these two guys.
Get Callum and the briefcase.
Not get shot, get Treacle because he's hanging off the side of the train.
Right.
Okay.
Cease the gunfire.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm
or
gonna
disrupt it at very least.
I'm gonna start a clock for stop the gun. I'm gonna start another clock of start the train. The train. And start the train is going to be a little bit harder than stop the gun. Potentially. All right. So
We're currently at desperate unless you're resetting that.
no. I think you guys are a pretty desperate situation.
Okay. So it's harder rolls, but we get XP every time we make them or
Yep.
don't make them.
So, all right. So we're gonna do the first roll here. So, why can I'll have a stroke. I'll recover, and then we're gonna have Alexander throw his grenade.
All right, so
Now, any special kind of grenade or just the booming kind?
just the booming kind, right? Because I don't have time to think or tinker.
Figure it
I'm just
out,
gonna,
yeah.
like, I'm just the grenade and pitch it over there. Now I have 2 dice. I am stressed to almost the maximum. So this 2 dice is all I have to go at it.
Is anyone going to help him? And the way everyone's positioned, you're gonna have to really convince me on how you're gonna help.
Honestly, I can't come when they pull
I
it
think
in.
he's
I
dead,
would help.
so-
You're not there. You think he's dead.
I think
You're in the
he's
train. You're on the other side
Right.
of the train.
I don't know what's going on. Nobody.
Hey,
Got it.
Got a 6?
that is a 6, sir.
All right, you
Hi, Mark XP.
do it.
Oh, thank you. So yeah, you're right. I did. I wrecked and desperate. Jesus Christ, I'm going blind.
Yeah, you keep trying to blind yourself. All right, so unlike like storytelling games and stuff, there is a clock on this. So you chuck the grenade, but that doesn't mean you wipe them. Like everyone, oh no, and the gun goes flying and destroyed.
Right, but with the 6, you get extra success. Oh no, that's with a crit.
That's a
Yeah,
crit.
right,
with the
right.
6, I don't hurt you.
Yeah, which is perfect because I don't get shot by the that's coming at me.
Yeah.
Because that's the logical things that I kept up to throw the grenade and then I get hit.
So-
4 through a 6, you succeed. On a 6 and 6 alone, you succeed with no problem to yourself.
right.
Yep.
Okay.
So we're going to do a little bit. You tell me what happens. But the caveat here is, you don't actually take out the gun. You're just working to. You filled in a pie slice. You're working towards it. So what happened?
Gotcha. So I think that for me, I probably overthrew, right? And hit the back wall of the car. And so I didn't place it in an optimal position for shrapnel, but the concussion,
Yeah.
the cacophony, the dust, everything, I think, I don't know, maybe stuns the gun and the crew from firing.
Or maybe they have to take cover because they saw it coming in.
You probably like kill or maim 1 or 2 of them. Like you said, it's not.
Right, if it's a
Great
crew-served weapon, right,
Yeah.
killing the one person does, I mean, it might inhibit, but it does not
We're gonna-
prevent it from
Chris
firing.
Evans is in their car and jumps on the grenade.
We're gonna say that it knocks the gun over. So kind of like the gun goes quiet for a moment.
Right.
They're picking it back up and
Right,
setting
right.
it back up. The ice or iron?
Ice.
I'm writing it up. I'm just writing ice here because it's the easiest one
Yeah,
to
the
see.
redhead.
Yeah. I'm gonna hurt Alex tonight, just so you know. I'm gonna hurt him.
God, I'm sort of into that. Redhead.
All right, so the ice blonde, she comes running over to you. Now, okay, there are huge tentacles coming out of the water.
Yeah.
Like huge, crazy fucking tentacles. And they were kind of like flailing and stuff, and they were kind of off, like, let's say 1 or 2 cars down, enough to distract people. And they weren't really doing much because they're tentacles. They can't see, right? Well, the ice blonde's been fighting them, and now it's like probing now. So some of the tentacles have breached into one of the trains. People are screaming. It is another tentacle is slithering up and is starting to wrap around the other train.
This thing has got to be so massive to even reach us, first of all, and
Right.
do all this shit. It's
It's
insane.
huge. And another one is, they're doing crazy shit, like danger level is high. But you guys are getting shot at and stuff. Maybe whatever. Ice Blonde, you chuck this thing, it silences the gun for a moment, and basically the ice blonde skids to a stop right next to you. And she's like dirty and bloody and stuff. And she kind of grabs you. She's about an inch from your face. And she's like, stop the gun. Get the fucking train moving now. She stands up, looks over at the gun, and sees them. They're like pointing to her because she's standing up. She's got this one. She takes her 2 batons and she slams them together in front of you. Like you're like at her feet, like holy fuck.
Yeah.
Slams them together, and sparks kind of fly out of the breach where she put them together. She plants the batons, now this staff-looking thing, into the ground, and she presses a button, and something launches out of it. Goes into the clouds.
She's so hot.
You notice there's a wire coming down out of the clouds. It starts to rain. She goes running towards the tentacle. She throws over her shoulder, get the fucking train moving! Wherein she leaps off of the side of the train, lifting the baton spear thing up over her head and flying into the center mass of this demon thing in the water. What do you guys do?
It's a lightning rod.
I scramble to my feet and start running toward the engine.
All right.
The guns have stopped, so I go over to the window.
Yeah.
And I'm pulling Treacle in the window.
Yeah, as you're pulling me in, I'll see.
You're not pulling him in. You grab him by a scruff and pull him in.
Yeah,
Because you're all poop raged.
Yeah. I say, Callum's on the roof. Go get Callum. And I'll just start running towards the engine.
Sweet red
Right.
repository.
There were no wet wipes. So, yeah.
Okay.
Chafed.
So we'll just say you're up on the roof. You know, you run over up because it's really easy to get up on the roof. You're running towards the engine. And the scene is, you know, it kind of pulls back. And there's these tentacles on one side, and there's rain coming, and there's like sort of lighting, not striking down, but you know how it like lights up the like it's starting to do that.
Yeah, when it's doing that lateral thing. It's rain is coming down. It's starting to come down a lot harder. These guys are like looking up the sky. They're like the gun is up, and they're kind of working it right now. Alexander is running across the top of the roof, while Treacle is pacing him running through the car.
How far apart are the 2 trains?
I think I said last week, they're far enough away that you can jump it, or close enough that you can jump it, far enough away that it's dangerous.
Okay. Because that's my intention when I get up the roof. I'm running straight over to the edge. And
Yeah, the diagram just
if it's
is
not,
perfect.
if the gun's not shooting for a moment, I'm running to the edge and leaping over.
You come up. That's your plan. You see Reggie standing in a pool of shadow, and this guy leaps out of it, and Reggie's raging. Have you seen him like this before?
I'm over here just bobbity boobity boobity bop.
And he's going, and this guy like is behind him, says hey, and then he turns around and he just jacks him. Reggie is like ready to grab his face off, and he goes like this to punch him, and the guy sinks into the pool of shadow, and then there's another guy behind him who hooks Reggie's arm and like hits him in the back and is like trying to pop your arm out. You go to like flip him, and then he just slides down, and you're going to go. You've been doing this for the past 2 minutes. So.
My whole plan so far now is just to fucking just Hulk smash the shit out of the ground and try
Okay,
to.
I have a new plan now, though.
Okay.
When the one pops up on the direction between me and Reggie, I want to run up, grab them, and rip the cloak off.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. All
Because
right.
we got people that do this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a cloak.
Yeah.
It's a cloak.
You would also probably know. Reggie does not resort to rage potion very often because he's a technical fighter. So
Right.
There had to have been a reason.
Looking at Reggie's condition and the state. I mean, you guys have a simpatico. You're on a team, right? Reggie's in a bad way right now.
Yep. So that's when I'm grabbing, I'm going to rip the cloak off.
All right.
I'm going to say it's going to be skirmish because I'm not trying to wreck the person. This is more finesse. I will push myself.
Okay.
So I want to get this. 6.
Nice.
All right. You do it.
Titties.
Yeah. You rip the cloak off the guy as he is about to like dive down, and his foot and his upper arm are like going in like very rapidly going, and then you rip it off, and he starts screaming, and he's like rolling around on the ground.
Now that I've
It is-
distracted you.
Yeah,
It
I'm
is
gonna smash the shit out of it. As soon as I notice it, because Is that heighten your attention too?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I probably am like, because I'm like frantically trying to swipe at these guys and notice them, I probably didn't even notice he's there.
Right.
Just instantly just.
Okay, roll me. I would imagine skirmish or wreck. I mean, you could just annihilate this guy. However you want to do it.
Well, I get 3 dice for skirmish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see ready. You know, basically standing over him, just going boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom.
And I am gonna. It's just one, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, let me.
No, stress. It's two.
No.
Two.
To push yourself.
Yeah, it's
Ooh.
2.
So stress to push yourself is +2. You can do more with stress with pushing yourself than I realized. You can add 1 dice to your roll, or you can add 1 level to your effect, or you can take an action when you're incapacitated, or you can actually combine.
Oh.
You could push yourself for like 4 stress to do an extra die and extra effect.
Really?
But that's a lot of stress for
That's a
one.
lot of stress
Yeah.
for one.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess that it's high risk, high reward.
Yeah.
Yeah, just get a shit ton of dice, hope to get that crit.
Oh!
Sixes all
Sucks,
night.
yeah.
Here we go again. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck you, Chad! Yeah!
Oh yeah, next week.
Yep. So yeah, you're pounding this guy. I don't know if Reggie knows this or not, but basically this guy's forearm is cut off right below the elbow, and as is his foot, which was what was sinking into the shadow.
When he took it off.
When he took it off.
Fuck, that's awesome.
Oh, shit.
That's why he was
Some
rolling.
grindhouse shit right there.
Damn!
So the people in the car below just got a hand of the
What's this in my soup? It's a foot.
No, banging his old lady in a foot.
She's like, don't stop. I'm into it.
A hand falls and smacks his ass.
Yeah, do it again, babe.
But yeah, no, you don't care. I mean, this guy's dying
No, I
and
don't
stuff.
give a
But
shit.
but no, you actually end up putting him out of his misery. Like you've got his teeth in your fist, and it. Yeah. I mean, you stand up. You're just like.
There's one more.
Team's back together.
Oh, yeah. I probably see you now.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So we're going to go up to the car. We'll say that you guys were running at speed. Alexander probably gets there a bit first because Uncle Treacle's like goes through the first class section. You know, there's a
Oh, I'm running like a fullback. I'm just head down.
there's a waiter. He's got like a silver dome thing of they're all looking. It's
like
like
a wedding cake.
it just like explodes everywhere. All right, so
Kraus has been up there this whole time. Do I get some actions in here?
well, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, these guys are running up there. Well, I had assumed that Proust was doing the business, so to speak.
Well, it depends on how this guy responds. So,
Probably he's gonna poop himself. So what do you want to do?
okay, so we're just going to lead off with some really simple stuff here. So, as Proust puts his money in his own pocket, says, could you please get this train moving at its maximum speed?
Buddy.
We're working that out.
Okay, so this guy is. I'm gonna start. He's not brave. He's not pulling the. Who the fuck do you think you are? So, no. The crazy whisperer with the big fucking shears just came into the compartment. Now, a gun is shit's going wrong. He's as white as a sheet. Roll command, I would say.
Okay, 1 die in it.
Well, okay, so hold on. Do you want to push yourself?
Nope.
Okay.
It didn't work out well. I rolled a 2.
No, that's fair. It's because it's the worst outcome. You suffer severe harm, serious complication, lose opportunity for this action. Actually, I'm gonna just take the bitch way out of this because this guy isn't gonna harm you. I mean,
Stray bullet kills him.
really, oh no, here you go. Fantastic. I love it. Yeah, he's just like, I'm sorry. Okay, and then Proust is standing there. I mean, I don't know what Proust is feeling, but I mean, there has to be some surprise.
It's like crying over spilled milk.
Yeah.
It's a wasted vessel.
Because think of the angle too. It didn't come in like boom in front of him. This bullet cut Proust's, not himself, but it cut his coat.
Yeah, the
Winged past him.
The Cossack.
Your ear is ringing as the bullet zips by it into this guy's face and paints all the controls. Like you can't. There's gauges and stuff and levers. Everything is just slick with viscera. And this guy goes boom, hits you, and leaves his neck open, gory head thing down your front.
All right. Proust is going to crouch down, take the bone shears, and cut off his right hand.
At this wonderful moment is when you two walk in. This moment,
What are you doing?
I'm trying to get his memories. He may not remember how he did this, but I bet his hand does.
3 days. Remember the rules. It's 3 days. If you're going to try and call his ghost,
Nope.
Okay, cool, no problem.
You killed the conductor? To look at his memories? What, did you blow his head off?
Don't have those powers.
Good.
What the? I
It's
step
covered in
over-
blood. I didn't do the
I step
shears
over-
in the hand.
I didn't do anything. Come on.
Hand in one hand.
Actually, he wouldn't be covered in blood because the bullet came by his side.
No,
No, the guy
remember
fell
the
on-
guy with his
body fell
missing head and stuff
Yeah.
fell on him, and the neck smeared down his front.
Gotcha. Okay.
He's a wreck right now.
He was shot.
Okay. All right.
Alexander's there too.
I'm gonna pull out a handkerchief and start wiping off gauges and buttons and things, and see if I can orient myself to get this thing moving.
All right.
Okay, so I have the ability to tune to the ghost field, but it does not just have to be ghosts.
Right, yeah,
I
ghost
can-
fields, all sorts of shit.
I can lock into any form of spectrology. So here's what I want to do, and you tell me if this is possible or not. I'm not looking to summon his ghost. You said that's...
There's the 3-day rule.
Yeah.
The 3-day rule.
What I'm looking to do is to see if there's a ghostly residue where I can envision, by virtue of holding his on hand, if I can envision just simply the sort of muscle memory, the motions it went through.
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say it's exceedingly difficult. So you can do it. You can attempt to do it. I'm going to make a clock for that, but it's just going to be a 4-slice clock, right? So if you can do it, that means on the start the train clock, you're going to have not advantage. You're going to
Effectiveness.
effectiveness. Yeah, it's where you scale.
Increased effectiveness.
Yeah,
Increased potency.
blonde, brunette, redhead. It's the one where, like, if he uses his special weapon,
Yeah,
it does
yeah.
2 instead of 1.
Yeah.
But I forget what that's.
Yeah. Increased potency.
Potency, yeah. So this is hard.
Yeah.
So you need to tell me how you're kind of boosting this up, and I have a suggestion. And I don't mean getting a 6. Like, so again, if this were Jack punching someone who is way better than Jack, I would say, okay, Jack, you need to have additional potency to even do 1 slice on this guy. How you doing it? He's like, oh, well, I'm taking out my whalebone tooth crazy insanity weapon to do it. And
I have a few thoughts.
and I have a suggestion, but let's hear what you guys
Okay, the spirit mask might help. The combination of not just compelled, but also of ghost mind, which allows him, he already now at this point exists somewhere between realities. That's going to help. It's also my understanding of the lightning hook that it has some kind of ability to wrangle things that are outside of this reality. So I'm wondering if even its presence or shooting it a few times through the corpse, because doesn't the spirit linger with the corpse?
It's vague. It's what we needed to do.
Yeah. So I'm kind of wondering.
I am going to set a hard and fast rule about the 3-day rule, though. Because
Okay.
it's so, like, you can't use the spirit hook to pull a spirit.
No. It's just more to antagonize or do that sick thing they did in the
show
late Victorian age
that.
where they would shock bodies at different parts of the brain to make them do things they did in life.
Right.
Except on a spirit level.
Yeah.
You're just going to get a vision of him jerking it.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And then his coworker.
That is one that I had overlooked for sure.
Yep.
All right, well then I have already taken that, but I'm going to go ahead and I will mark off a use, and I will hand you Dr. Pross. I'm going to pass the syringe to you. You may find your task easier if you just right in the rump there. Just give yourself a little shoot, a little dose.
Just
Vitamin B.
It'll open your mind to the
it won't make me feel better, will it?
no. It will help you focus on the specific task at hand.
Okay, that gives me another die. I'm up to 5 dice.
Okay, so Alexander hands you a syringe. You zap yourself with it.
Yep.
Oh, you're gonna love this. Unknown to Dr. Proust, what you have just injected yourself with is quicksilver.
Mercury. Totally not mercury.
No, it's mercury.
Oh, well.
A toxic metallic fluid. The user's mind opens further to the ghost field. So take +1d. It's basically rage bile potion
actually killing
for
you.
whispers.
Yeah, so you're injecting that much mercury. It better end up in the ghost field.
Any small amount in your bloodstream would fucking kill you.
Except whispers can basically, it'll kill you. Except whisper, it's like alchemical, right?
Yeah.
You are
I
drawing
turn
the
it
power.
into something
Yeah.
else. It's
But
like
it is
if what the Chinese emperors thought it did, it actually did.
and it is also mercury.
Yeah.
So it is going to hurt you.
Super hot.
But with that, in the book, in the rules, it just gives +1d. I actually have it do more than that because you're injecting yourself with goddamn mercury. So I've had whispers in my other games do that too. All right, so you hit yourself with it,
Yep.
right? And you've never done this before. You don't exactly know what Alex is talking about, but he makes sense. And you have no.
He's trustworthy.
Yeah, he's good. Actually, you've taken medical stuff from him before. It's been fine. You hit yourself with it. Suddenly, you guys see Proust go like this. You're not doing that. You're standing there. You are standing there, and you're looking around, and these guys aren't there. And you're standing in the train, in the cab, and the ocean waters. Remember, you're like, 30, 40, 80 feet above it. The ocean waters rise and rise and rise, and they fill the cabin. If you're not panicking, not that Proust would or wouldn't. If he would, he isn't. You feel the water soak into your shoes, your socks, your pants, your shirt. You feel it go over you. There's no viscera anymore. There's no gore or anything. And you just feel the gentle push and pull of the waves. And Proust doesn't think this is the ghost field, nor does he think it's the water, but he does think it is, and it isn't. It's like this sort of drifting, dreamlike acceptance. And suddenly, standing behind you is the conductor. And he's just standing there, and he's not saying anything or doing anything. He's just staring at you. You're not looking at him, but you know he's there. You know he's standing there. And you look over to your left, and you see in the window of the train engine a giant eye. It is a giant leviathan's eye, as if a leviathan has swam up to the compartment, which is completely underwater, and it is that black water you stare into and see constellations off in the distance. And you look at that eye, and it is looking back at you, and you know that thing knows you and knows who you are. And you take a harm of you are now haunted by a demon. Now you can try to circumvent that. You can, do the stress thing to not make that harm happen.
Resist.
I'm going to do some. I'm going to play Beethoven, but here's my request.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can say yes or no. Obviously, this is your game. We've connected in a situation where I'm not without power.
I'm in.
It's haunting me, but I'm also haunting it.
I'm in.
We're haunting each other.
Make a note. It's not a harm. Well, actually, no. Yeah, it's not a harm because that's dice and stuff. Make a note of that somewhere on there.
Okay. Okay, I and a Leviathan are haunting each other. Still need to get my NPC write-ups to you guys.
And now remember too that every single character, including Dr. Proust to a point, not in this moment, because your mind is open.
Yeah.
You have this almost cosmic understanding that is going to start slowly fading when this goes away. You decide how much of it you keep. Everyone here, Leviathans, they're demons, they're powerful, we get all the whale oil from them. They aren't intelligent. You know that's not true.
Yeah,
and this is the first.
Well, yeah, because after playing Dishonored, I finally understood Proust's backstory, which is he's been driven mad by the whale's songs.
Yep.
Which it's like whale song in that they're communicative, but it's not like they're all. It's like it's like this melody that only those that are really close to them, like physically close to them, start to hear, and those that are on whaling ships are like
the
it slowly erodes.
The music boxes. I had that in the first game.
Yeah, say the
like an organ grinder.
No, the overseers have these music boxes that's based on like this ultra arcane knowledge that even they don't fully understand. But while this like weird dissonant, and no, I say dissonant, I mean musically dissonant, which is actually a key change, but a dissonant key. And it's like these giant music boxes, and it when it plays, that song cancels out all magic and effects of the spirit.
So I had that in the first game.
It's like a remedy to the whale song, except nobody knows the whale song exists, except people who have heard it enough times they've been driven mad.
They get into
by
a fight. This isn't a common thing. This is in this game, in this universe. You just haven't encountered it.
Wait, is this a John Harper thing or a Dishonored thing?
This is a Dishonored thing that I've.
Okay.
What's the difference?
Yeah, I was going to say, is there a distinction between what is John Harper and what is Dishonored?
The team went to go fight this guy who had kind of discovered this thing, and he started playing. And they're like, "When's the little monkey gonna come out? What is this shit?" And they pull a gun, point at his face, and pull the trigger, and it just goes click, and nothing happens.
Right.
Because all the bullets are electrophasmic.
Right.
Yeah.
It just makes nothing happen.
Yeah, like all magic, all
Whisper couldn't do shit. The leech, all that stuff on your character sheet with all leech up, couldn't do it. None of it worked.
Yeah,
it was great.
Yeah, there's a whole
Wasn't
like
so great. I was the whisper in that game.
It was fantastic.
I don't want to care too much.
Fuck your sixes.
There's this whole church that like it's like this weird inverted church. Like they're trying, because participation in religions tends to lead to the occult. They're actually trying to get everyone to detach from the spiritual and be more atheistic. It's a very, this isn't Dishonored. It's a right.
No. When are you going to run some Blades in the Dark? Now that you get it.
I'm willing to go into rotation. I don't need to bump Eric or Brodor.
Are you gonna run some?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
but
God, I love you.
But now that I grok it,
No, fuck
now that I grok it, I will absolutely go into the rotation.
So next up is, not next up.
Right.
When basically, I want to get you guys back to Duskwall, do a little bit in Duskwall, and then hand it over to you.
My first run game ever for a table of GMs. No, I'm okay.
What? I mean, it's just like 2 podcasts, and you know.
I mean, it's
Are you
Three
kidding? I think
podcasts,
you'd be amazing.
it
Three
probably
podcasts.
would be
for
a
GMs
good
is
experience.
great.
Yeah, it'd probably be a good experience.
GMs know what it's like to be a GM.
All
They
right.
will help you.
So here we go. This is me attempting. All right, so I'm attempting. Do you want me to roll then role play or role play then roll?
It's on you, baby.
Okay, so
I'm just sitting here.
All right. When it comes time to actually convince him to succeed or fail, I'll roll the dice. So I'm
So you get this eye.
right. So Proustus, he's sitting
These guys
down on the ground if need be, in such a way
in the real world.
in the fiction what he would call it the real world,
Fair.
That's true. Yeah. he
In the
doesn't really
real
care.
world,
in the phantasmal world.
Proust hit himself with this thing Alex gave him, and now he's writhing on the ground screaming.
Right.
Yeah, in the phantasmal world,
Or the real world.
which is he sees the real world. He sits down directly at facing this guy, intentionally trying to obscure his own view of the Leviathan Eye, because that actually does profoundly upset him. But
Because it's not just a Leviathan, it's
in his Freudian way of handling this insanity, he's simply not going to deal with it.
fair.
And so he's looking at the ghost. He says,
So when you turn towards the ghost, every time you turn towards it, it is behind you, dreamlike, right? It is behind you. You know it's behind you. You know it can hear you. You talk to it. It maybe will talk to you, but it's like behind you.
so I know this must be disorienting because you've suddenly found yourself away from the dream and you've finally woken up and you see
He
how
says in this deep voice, "No, I am the dream, and I've been following you. And you know it's not the conductor."
Oh, please, I need to talk to the conductor for a moment. Can you just wait?
You'll have to wait 3 days.
I think we're going to have a disagreement here that may not come to an easy impasse. I've been wondering. You see, ever since I first heard your songs and they began to wake me up, I learned from Dr. Killian to sing myself back to sleep with my own song. And I wonder if you'd like to hear it. If you'd like to join me.
You can't hurt me. If that was too quiet, of course, 6. So go.
So, okay, succeeded, but did not,
Yeah. Fuck you, Shane.
Not crit.
not crit. So I
No.
did
Actually, what I'm going to say is because you're.
well, in that sense, I just want to get in his head the same way he's in mine. I'm not.
I am filling in 2
Okay.
because of the Quicksilver and the harm story harm. You start singing, and it is singing a counter song, but its counter song wavers and then choruses with your song.
And probably in the process, Proust's song changes as well, and there is some emergent song that is neither his nor the whale's.
For Eric,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Uncle Treacle,
Yeah.
and Alex, you guys are like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I look. He like jabs himself, lays there, and starts wiggling and screaming. I look at him for like just a split second, and then I look up at Alex and go, "Okay, what we need to do?"
And I just look at him and I look down at Proust and I say, "Oh dear.
Did you give him the wrong stuff?
Oh no, that's the right stuff. I did not anticipate its effect."
As soon as you say that, all of the bloody panels and dials and readouts flicker and light up.
Okay.
Gonna usher what I assume maybe one of the conductor's feet is wedged in by a pedal or something, and so I'm gonna kind of cringe and drag his body away and sit down in the conductor's seat and then
You sit on an ear.
Yeah, give props to. Well done.
I'm going to fill in my last bit of gear as documents, because it says that documents is slim volumes on a variety of topics. I'm going to pull the operator's manual up for this particular engine out of...
Because you're a Railjack fan.
Of course.
And...
Dude, that's so cool.
So I go,
So cool.
I'm like, this is an older model, so it might not be exactly the same, but I'm going to...
When did you learn all of this about trains and railjacks?
I've always known this. You fools just never asked. When was the last time you were on a train?
This is my first.
There you go. I've been dreaming of being on a train since I was a little boy.
You've been dreaming since you were a child for being part of a train.
To be on a train.
To be the
To
recipient
ride a
of a
train,
train?
ride in a train. This is the first time I've ever ridden in a train, too.
Right. So you wanted...
This is one of my bucket lists.
It almost was.
Okay.
So anyway,
Okay.
Well, I'm sorry, Treacle. I'm sorry, Uncle Treacle. I did not mean to diminish your interest in trains. I had no idea. It
I'll
all
show you my
seems very
satchel.
linear.
my satchel has different models of different engines of the different trains. I'm a train guy.
Well, and I guess I can see the artistry and the subtlety and the
Yeah, this is
mechanical improvement. That's actually quite interesting.
Yeah, this is a...
I see that.
I love that you're having this conversation while guns are blazing.
Right. Yeah. The guns have opened up back then to those conversations. I recommend you guys lead a group action where you use his tinker and your document stuff.
Right.
So lead a group action, roll for each character who participates in the group action.
for
The
it.
single
You roll
best
dice.
roll
We're learning a
counts
lot
as the
about Uncle
action.
Treacle this trip.
I'm not
Yeah.
touching these dice.
All of his secret hobbies that we never knew
When
about.
a group roll, you roll your tinker, I roll my command, and we take the best roll, correct?
Right. Yeah.
6.
Of course.
You got a 6 as well, too.
Those are dicks.
Oh, thank you.
This is why I like the B squad,
I
man.
think you can crit on a
I'll
group
say,
action,
can we wonder twin this one?
Wonder Twin.
I'm gonna say yes, but it fills in 1.
More like
Oh, no,
Eskimo
that's,
Brothers, really.
That's his thing. Okay. No. Okay. So we're gonna say yes. That does that. You guys, there's a startup process.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to take time.
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah. You guys are working through it. We're gonna come back to Proust in a minute. The camera pulls back to Reggie and Jack.
All right. Well,
So,
that means Wayne plummy poop.
Oh boy.
I pull my fist from the dent that used to be that guy's head.
All right, the gun hasn't started back up. yet.
Yeah. This is like 4.5 hours earlier from the train discussion.
Okay, as long as the gun hasn't started back up.
You look up and they're like picking the gun up and they're messing with it and setting it up.
Oh, hell no. I'm leaping off the train.
So you're leaping off the train. The ice blonde is leaping off the train. It's raining very hard. The lightning is going through the clouds and stuff. You're leaping. What are you doing?
I'm still trying to kill that guy. I still think Alex is dead. These are the guys who killed him. In my eyes, I don't even know the gun's happening.
You could throw the shadow cloak on him.
Oh my god!
And then pull it off of them.
A raging stealth fucking.
I mean, I've got no use for it. I'm not going to toss it and go.
Yeah, he
Does
doesn't
it look different when you're in it? I think we talked about that.
Yeah,
It kind of does.
It's like liquid shadow.
yeah.
And so they put it on them, and it was like shadow pouring
It's like
over
a
them.
shade.
Yeah. He goes, oh, hell no. And he takes the cloak and he throws it. It hits you in the face.
Yeah, I don't even think it's not even intentional.
Right. When it hits you in the face, you don't see, it's all black, except you see like the barest outlines of things.
Mm-hmm.
You've never used shadow. You're like, fuck this shit. This is some weird crap. That little Garrett and Janny used, like, whatever, guys.
Not for me.
You're right. hit you in the face, and you see like the barest outlines of the train and the barest outlines of the track, and you can kind of see through things, and you see the other guy, and he's like down and in the car, but he's not in the car. Like Reggie doesn't understand how the perspective is fucking him up because he's in the shadow, and the shadow is below him, but he's not in the car. But he's below. It's very straight. And well, Reggie's like, well, fuck you.
Yeah,
Anyway,
my mind doesn't work to even try to think about that.
There he is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna try and just smash where he is. Like
Are you just diving in?
I'm swinging exactly at the spot in the floor that he's at.
Okay,
because I think he's there.
Yeah, and now that you have this thing on, he is there.
Yeah, so I'm just double fisting, just.
All right. Bobbity-boobity, roll them dice. Get those sixes.
All right, this would be a wreck for sure.
Alright. I'm trying to smash into the other train.
Okay, what are you rolling?
I'm going for wreck. I'm trying to hit the gun on the way in.
Okay.
6!
Of course.
Don't worry, Chad. I'll fuck up this.
Does
roll
that
just
hit
for
the
you.
does that hit the gun one? Because I'm over in their train.
No, you fall into the ocean. Oh, 6! No way! Yay! Good guy.
I was really hoping it would crit because that would have been fucking perfect.
Oh, I hate you all.
So much XP because we're still in desperate.
Jack, you leap over, you throw this, and you just hear him roar like this, and you don't like look over your shoulder. You're jumping across. Out of the side of your eye, you see him just jump down and disappear.
Oh shit!
And
I trust. I'm focused.
Yeah, you're not stopping anyway. Otherwise, you're gonna slip. And the guys get the gun, like cock it back, and they're swinging it around to hit you. Except you rolled a 6 because fuck you. And the gun starts going off, and it's like, but it isn't lined up.
Right.
And you just land in there. You hit one of the guys, and you like shoulder roll in, and the other side of the car has a big hole in it where Alexander blew a hole in it with a grenade, and you kind of like hit this guy and bounce him out into the ocean. He's like, ah! Sploosh. And you get up. There's about 5 guys in here, and the gun is just because the guy, he leaped past you, and he's got his hand on the trigger. It's going, and he's like, oh fuck, but he never stopped shooting. It's just like like that. All right, so Reggie, on the other hand, you just and you smash it. Maybe there's a thought that you're smashing through the ceiling.
That's what I would think he would think. He's just smashing the ceiling.
It is like jumping into water. It is like jumping into cold water.
So I just jumped into like an Acme portable hole.
We're right. Except you don't. It's like hitting water, but you don't feel wet. It's actually like.
But you feel the slowing of.
Yeah.
Momentum. And
Have you ever gone into like an old attic and you feel like you're just breathing dust?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what it's like in there.
So it's just musty.
It's just musty and like you can feel the dust in your lungs, and like when you exhale, it's like you're.
Everything's just heavy.
Yeah, everything heavy and slow, and you're going slow, but when you hit the guy, it's like you hit him at 100 miles an hour.
Oh, shit.
And you just slam into him, and it throws him to the ground. Fuck yeah. And then, as if off in a distance, you hear this boom, 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 boom. The gun firing.
But it's like
muffled.
Muffled.
Okay. Yeah.
Is the gun bolted to the ground or just on like?
No, because they knocked it over.
Oh,
yeah.
Perfect.
All right. So there's 5 guys there.
That's fine.
Yeah. I mean, you're rolling 6 all night.
Only 5?
I mean, I thought this was a Friday night.
Yeah.
All right. What do you do?
I'm wrecking them.
All of them?
Yes, because I'm not to be trifled with.
You are not to be trifled with.
So I am stressing myself to do that for increased effect instead of an extra dice.
Okay. Six, of course. Yay, good for you. There's still one more. Basically, no one is there to really see this, unfortunately. But you're basically you're grabbing guys, you're hitting guys with other guys, you're throwing them out the door. They swing the gun around on you, like boop, 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 boop. Because the guy, again, he's like all adrenaline and afraid. He never actually stops. Let's go. And he sweeps the gun across his own train into the engine of the train. Blue sparks start flying out. You guys see this because the train engines are level with each other. You've been hearing the Gunzer talking about this book and this train thing and whatnot. And, basically trying to ignore the screaming person and the viscera and trying... This is normal. This is normal to talk about trains. Right. We're just talking about trains.
Trains.
Yeah, that's all that's going on here. And you see, tracers, hit the, bullets kind of come through the car. Like, oh, fuck. Tracers are flying past. And then they go, and it's like they're nailing their own engine from inside the train.
Right.
And you see a couple of engineers, and then they fall dead. And there's sparks and stuff, and smoke's coming out and shit, and the rain is really coming down now. Who hasn't gone in a bit? Who would like to go?
I'll go.
All right.
So to the Leviathan eye.
You stop singing?
Oh no!
You feel
that song simply exists.
Gotcha.
It's almost like you don't try to sing it all the time. Like once it gets going, it's just a tone that just kind of pervades your being. And I get close to that not real portal or their porthole rather that the Leviathan eye's looking through. And I say, you've probably never been like this before, but I have for years. So let me tell you how it works. There is no place far enough away you can go, no water so deep you can swim, that I won't hear your song, that it won't eat and eat and eat at your mind, until one day I bring a ship large enough and we haul you up, and those that are too new or too dumb to hear your song think nothing of it as they carve up your body and reduce you down to nothing more than what's in the containment systems of this train. But I'll make you a deal. You let this man go, and I'll give you a 3-day head start.
This does not come without cost.
Oh, I've been paying, because that's the thing. All we live on is faith. Our debts, our credits, they're all based on a faith that somehow they matter, that somehow they're real. There is no price you can charge me that my faith doesn't cover. You've been charging me that. That's what's given me my faith. You are the crucible that makes me gold.
Make your roll. 6. Let me get 6. No,
Nope.
6.
Nope, 4 is as I got.
4, which is that's, you do it, but there's a consequence. You suffer a severe harm. A serious complication occurs. You have reduced. Well, we're not going to do reduced effect. You do it. So you
Damn it, dude, you killed our streak.
you fill in 2 of your clock with this guy.
Thing, right?
Yeah, Leviathan. Entity, yes, from beyond. So that fills in 2 on start the train. You guys notice, the bullets come through. You kind of stop, and then you kind of start getting back to work. Suddenly, the conductor, who you moved outside, opens the door, and his head is
mangled,
and instead of his clothes are all stained with red blood and stuff, except now the veins and arteries, blue blood is coming out and leaking down his body. And he walks up and he starts doing levers and punching buttons. And
I'm going to get out of his seat, and I'm going to pick up...
When you get out of your seat, like, Treacle's like, look at this, like, you have never seen anything like this before. Ever. Like, every single person in Duskwall has been touched in some way by a ghost or has had some sort of encounter. Not just, oh, I know someone who has. Everyone has, and some, even just a little way, has. You have never seen anything like this, ever.
I grab my Spirit Bane charm and just like kiss it.
You stand up like you're like kind of doing the
exactly. Trying to squeeze myself as far away as possible,
and you back into something. You back into something, and you look behind you, and Proust is standing there. He is completely drenched head to toe in water, and his eyes are open, and he's looking at you, and he's looking through you, and his head kind of shakes. And you swear you hear over the thunder, over the rain, over the gunfire, over just the blood throbbing through your veins of this weird, freaky situation. You hear music coming out of his mouth. He's not singing or saying anything. You are that close. You hear sound very quietly fading away, coming from deep inside of him. And then it fades out. And then when it fades out, his eyes focus. And and Proust, you're looking right at Alex. And he is white as a sheet, and his eyes are wide open, and his scar is weeping. Like,
it's all pussy and
profusely.
God, and it smells. You ever have that thick yellow toe pus from an ingrown toenail or something?
No.
Then when you pop it, there's this odor. Oh,
no.
Can't say that I have.
Can they squeeze it, get the cheese out? Yeah.
No cheese or pus. Actually, you don't know this. Blue liquid is coming out of it.
Ew. Fucking whale stooge.
I'm going to do a setup action.
Whiskey.
Essentially, I'm going to set up Alex for, let's say that some of the process of getting this whole thing started, maybe some of the...
That's what it sounds like. That's what the music boxes sound like.
We can't put that on there.
No, it's also under 7 seconds.
John Harper's going to sue us.
Yeah, it was John Harper going to sue us.
Arcane's going to sue us.
Look how that worked out for FASA.
Right. Well,
yeah. FASA made the opening salvo lawsuit and then got hit with a bunch of others. So, yeah, if John Harper sues us, then we'll just make a phone call to Arcane and Bethsoft.
No court in the land wants to hear a cyberpunk or a steampunk lawsuit go on. Nobody wants that level of nerd in their courtroom.
Yeah, I mean, sexy vampires couldn't do it. Like, they were like, hey, we want to sue Underworld, and we're the world of darkness. And we have all these hot goths, right? That people didn't want to participate in that.
Right.
Certainly this shit's not going to happen. Yeah.
All right, so you're trying to stop an action. Now,
Yes.
just so you know, there are 2 more slices on starting the train. There's 1 more slice on the gun. So,
Okay.
obviously
So,
you guys...
What I'm considering is using the manual to say that maybe some bullets had hit some vital components that Alex is going to have to repair, and so I can talk him through, some of the connections according to the book.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. Well, then I'll try to snap out of it then.
And what that'll do, I'll
Do you
do
hear the stuff about the conductor? And the,
Yeah, there's blue whale oil coming
because
out of this.
with a successful setup, then you can increase your effect.
Oh.
So command 6.
Oh, you fucker.
All right. So
And the fuck you chat's back on.
Yeah, get that
And so
fucking
now I'm going to
jam.
try to tinker to resolve those issues. Eric, I love how you did that. I love how you were like, well, why isn't Python? Oh, because it got fucked up. It got shot. All right. Which gave us a reason to affect I like that quite a bit. Sex! And the fuckery continues!
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
All this laughing, but in a minute, I'm going to have to roll to finish the gun. I'm going to botch it, and I'm going to be on the other train while your train starts going.
Oh, I know. Oh, I know. I know.
But he brought you the Kit Kats.
Well, he already used that. I haven't had the other one yet.
Kit Kats are spent.
Yeah.
Force feed him the other one real quick.
Maybe that doughy face fat fuck. Who is this? Bach? Oh my god, that guy need to eat a salad.
Okay, so what did you set up? You did set up. All right, so set up allows another character. Set up another character with your action. If you achieve it, the team members who follow up get +1 effect or improved position. So you need to roll your tinker. Now you have a choice.
You
got to let me get
6.
Oh, I knew a 6. Well, I was also going to tell you too.
Mark HP.
We're in a desperate situation. Instead of taking the +1 effect, you can take us down from desperate to risky.
So will +1 effect get the train moving?
Yes.
Then +1 effect.
All right.
Move that train. Done.
Move that. Guess what is going on, Jack? Suddenly the whole world. It's you
That
ever know-
super hot chick with the mauve hair told me to start the train. Mauve hair.
You ever know? You ever been on like a train or a bus or something where
The one next to
the
you
one moves? You think you're moving?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
I know
you're
the
just
fact.
like boom.
I have
boom,
slammed on my
what?
car brakes in many parking lots over this optical illusion.
Yeah.
Like the guy next to me starts backing
You're
out,
like,
and I
"Fuck,
think
what?"
I'm rolling into the Walgreens, and so I slam on my brakes as fast as I can.
Jackie, you have that moment.
All right, so what I want to do,
Yeah.
I want to toss the gun off of the train into the water, and then I'm grabbing my climbing gear and tossing it at the train, hoping to basically hook on and just be dragged behind. So I'm expecting that to be 2 rolls.
Okay. So a couple of things happen at the same time.
Right.
All right. So you know, like they all jump on you, they're like beating you. Some are stabbing you, but whatever. And you just kind of do this thing. You raise your arms up and you kind of throw them all. The trains, you get the effect. The train starts moving. Somebody on their team yells something, and all the ones who are alive and able to move basically throw the other side of the door open, and then all of them jump out the door. Then
I'm assuming I'm trying to swim out of this
you are
void.
another thing that Jack sees is you see the top of the train where Reggie went down, and he's not there anymore. And then you see this hand come up, like this, kind of like this, and it's his arm. You see, his gloves and his legs the same. Where, like, trying to grab onto something, and it's like he's trying to pull himself up. What you don't see his feet hanging there, right? And through the train. It is raining. It is hailing. And you see movement. You see the giant Kraken thing, like a couple of cars down. And you see the Ice Blonde leap over the side. We're kind of playing with time here because I had to pause that little action with her because nobody could see it. It's really cool. So
This happened really quick, so it
yeah,
makes sense. Yeah.
right. Except for the train discussion thing, but that happened in the Fae. And
I feel like that was the briefest moment. Like that was like a fraction of a moment where our eyes met, and I recognized how cool trains were. Right, and then gunfire interrupts that.
It was actually a quick moment.
Yeah, yeah,
But as it was role played, it was almost a pocket of time.
Yeah. No, I think I agree. It was like an instantaneous, like
locked eyes?
Your idea does have value.
So she leaps over the side like this, and you see, like, through the windows and then underneath the train gantry thing, she is falling into it and throws the spear that the it's not a spear, but she throws the rod into it, and when it hits this giant like sarlacc maw mouth tooth thing, as smaller tentacles are trying to shoot up at her, she throws it in. As soon as it goes in its maw, boom,
Yes, I call it, yes.
lightning streaks down the wire from whatever she shot into the clouds,
So dope.
hits this thing, and it's just, I mean, like, there's goo everywhere.
How is she not the hottest? Like, come on,
Like,
that's fucking hot.
smoking fire, tentacles are blasted everywhere. There's this concussion that goes over the water, and as she's falling, she turns around and she goes like this, shoots a grapple gun into the side of the train, hits it, but over there, hits the tension on it, swings up, slams the back of her power pack that's powering her armor, which basically causes it to explode behind her, launching her up about 10 more feet, and then landing her on the top of the train. But she does not do the superhero. I mean, it's like slam! Ugh, and then she's like scrambling not to fall over. And
Trickle said she was nothing. Get the fuck out of here.
she's smoking.
Yeah.
Well, she's smoking.
Yeah,
But
fuck yeah.
She's smoke armors, bleeding. She's got this blue Leviathan shit
Battle
over.
scarred hottie.
Yeah.
Teal
She
hair.
sees
Teal hair.
she sees your arms
Fuchsia,
coming
come
out.
on.
You're about to jump over. You see her run over to him, and she's pulling you out of the shadow.
Dude, she's so... I want to marry this woman.
You're cheating on
Fuck her.
Whoa! God.
After
damn.
seeing this woman, are you kidding me? No one could live up to that.
Huh.
You'd have to kill this woman for me to end up with anybody
That's
else.
how my wife feels about Jason Momoa.
That's how most men feel about Jason Momoa.
All right, so they jumped off the other side of the train.
Yeah. Do you look and see what happened? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now, the train does. The other train is moving. It doesn't go like that. You have a moment.
I'm
to
moving
breathe.
very quickly when I do that.
Right. You look over. These guys have wires attached to them. They're kind of doing this. There's actually a picture in the book of somebody with flying through with the wire. They are all jumping off, and way down there is a boat.
I had a
And
feeling.
they land in the water. Their escape was never to make it to Midpoint. They had a boat waiting here.
Okay, there's no way I'm going to be to try to hit the boat, so I'm going to go the.
Not with that attitude.
Because I actually thought about diving down, especially if I didn't see her get back.
I only had a deck gun.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, if I didn't see her get back on the train,
You might have tried
I was
to
going
do
to try to jump down, take their boat, and go rescue her
Yeah.
and pick her up.
Isn't that super ballsy to use a boat? Like, whalers, I get.
Yeah.
But that sounds like...
Those aren't little boats.
No, of
and
course
they're-
not.
yeah.
But, and at the same time,
Couldn't the
they're
gun-
also not your typical whalers.
Can the
I,
gun point far enough?
I
down
would
to hit
think
the
that
boat?
people in this world
Could
that
try.
are whalers are probably
You're
like
probably
the most
not going to
badass
sink the
motherfuckers
boat
in there.
because, like you're saying, this is not a dinghy.
Right.
I mean, even if it were the real world today, you guys are out in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
So it's got to be big enough to survive that. Now it's got to be big enough to survive. Is it dangerous? Oh, fuck yeah.
Or
Now,
they could have
say what
another
you
boat
want
nearby.
about the rollers. This is some ballsy shit.
Yeah.
This was a daring fucking plan.
This could also be a smaller pirate thing. They may have a larger ship waiting nearby.
Could you cover the boat in like charms to like ward off shit, I
You
guess?
can try.
Yeah. I guess you'd have to have a lot.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm just going with my original plan of I'm knocking the gun into the water and trying to get back onto the train that's about to move.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
because you're not thinking about it.
Right. I'm thinking the train's about to leave me, and I'm
I mean, it is.
yeah. So,
Do you want to roll? What are you rolling for that?
I'm gonna guess this is. I mean, this is not gonna be wreck because I'm just trying to get back on the other side.
I would say it's a finesse.
That's what I was thinking too, which I don't have.
I know.
So
I know.
I'm obviously gonna push myself, so I at least get a
Okay.
die to roll.
Sure. You're in a desperate situation.
Yeah. So
If
I'm gonna
I'm-
get XP.
If I'm up,
So-
can I assist him?
So the gun. So guys, the gun is out. The train is started. You went on your little adventure. All the clocks are filled. So we just got to get Jackie back.
Yeah, is there any way you can think that you could have assist?
I mean, if you're tossing over something, maybe I could catch
Yeah,
it. Or,
I mean, she's pulling you up,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's, if you can figure something out.
Okay.
You still have this around your head, but you see him kind of.
Well, I mean, you can
that's
even
true.
point her to me so she can assist me.
Yeah. I'll just say Jackie. Like, it's in like a really ragey, fucked up voice.
She's pulling you up, and she takes the shadow cloak and she just rips it off your head.
Okay.
You know, probably you can see.
How long does it take for a rage person to like?
A plot amount of time. It's a lot like plot dust.
Okay.
It actually says in here it's only a couple minutes.
Oh, fuck that.
Or until you break everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can't see friend from foe. It's just actually something you have to resist.
Right.
We'll say your little trip kind of took it out.
Knocked me out.
Yeah, because I mean, you had to spin so much just to surface for air. You were like drowning in the dust, and yeah.
I love that.
Okay, so I'm getting an assist. That'll give me 2 dice then.
Yeah, whenever you throw over whatever you have, I'll, like,
6.
catch it.
Oh, yeah.
And a
Me
1,
too.
but a 6.
Has anyone other than Dan not rolled?
Dan did trip over our perfect streak, but
It's
you
like
can't.
a Persian rug.
Yeah.
It's perfect, but you have to put a flaw in it because nothing is perfect.
But I
And
feel like
that makes it perfect.
what
You
you
know what,
rolled,
Chad?
it worked out. Because
That roll was
story-wise, it was cool.
because it was a desperate action. That finished up my prowess one, so I'll take 1 in finesse.
Oh,
Hey.
hey, yeah, I was working out at the gym. Teaching you some stuff. You just can't bust through walls, Jackie.
Yeah, I need to learn how to do things with a little finesse, like tossing a rope and climbing.
I've been teaching him how to jump rope, and this it's all paying off.
Yeah, you got him on the speed bag and stuff. So you jump over. I'm just gonna say, like you said, this was the result of the roll is that Jackie kind of realizes that maybe being Kool-Aid Man isn't the best idea. Maybe learn some stuff. You make it over, but you're like, oh shit, and you're wrong. And then the Ice Blonde and Reggie grab you and pull you up, and he's like, okay, man. And then the train is underway.
All right, so Chad, I want to make a deal or propose a deal. So I was reading up what haunted does,
Sure.
and it says
It's technically a vice.
no, it's a trauma.
Oh, okay.
So he and I are basically traumatizing each other, or it and I.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently what haunted does is basically these visions start to fill your head that drop you into this kind of screwed up reverie of seeing other places, things you can't make sense of, or things you can make sense of, but they're traumatizingly bad.
That sounds like just Dr. Proust, normal.
Well, that's kind of what I'm thinking. So what I'm thinking is this screw becomes a piece of currency where when I haunt the whale, you get the screw, and then when the whale haunts me, you pass the screw back to me.
I dig it.
And
You're screwed.
You
to
haunted
push it
him.
beyond reverie into we can affect each other, I roll a tune to do it, and I roll resolve to resist it.
Okay.
So I am going to attempt to haunt the whale insofar as just putting him into a blind rage so that he will start thrashing around at the little boat on the water.
Yeah. For the listeners, when Dan says screw, he handed Chad a physical
Literal screw.
Somebody might want to write that down just in case.
It fell out of his head.
I will
One day you
forget.
guys are like, why the fuck did we have this?
Right.
I will remember
Yeah.
this because it's a. If you're okay with that, then
I'm okay with it. I will add one thing. If Proust ever gets taken out, you get a trauma like Alexander has a trauma because he got taken out. This will default to your trauma.
Okay.
Like no matter how, even if you get like just punched, like some enemy cutter just dumps you out in an alleyway, you're bleeding out, and then
He loses leverage.
Yeah.
Yeah, and similarly, obviously, if at some point he does get this whale hauled up, obviously that removes the trauma. So, but also removes his leverage over a Leviathan. So, I'm sure Leviathan sees him. Okay, I did get a 6. I'm just trying to make him thrash wildly and angrily about the water. Ideally, to create some problems for that boat.
Okay.
Now, I'm not delusion he's my puppet, so I can't. There actually is a path there, but I would have to take occultist, and then I actually can begin to gain leverage over demons.
Yep.
But I don't know that he would go that route. So
Okay.
he's just trying to disturb it.
Yeah. No, it's disturbed. So, yeah, if they were going to counterattack or if they were going to do something, hell, even if they're going back to Duskwall, getting back in time, or like you said, this is probably a sub ship off of a bigger one too. You disrupted them in some way.
Yeah. Just give him a bad day.
Yeah.
Whether it kills him or not, just give him a bad day.
Mm-hmm. I will say that this is going to protect you guys because you have to go to Midpoint and then on to Icaros. Don't worry about a counterattack.
Yeah.
This stops that. So, and if I have them counterattack you, like we do another 4-6 week stretch and I forget and have them counterattack, just remind me. It's like, oh no.
Gosh, even the location name, Severos instead of Sekaros.
Yeah.
Gracious.
It's
Okay. Yeah. Moving right along.
Yeah. All right. So,
Proust, was this your doing? And I point at the body sitting there conducting the
oh yeah,
trance.
it's still standing there doing its thing.
Did you do this?
Oh no, he chose to do that all of his own.
He doesn't have a face. How can he choose something?
I'm just gonna excuse myself and go back to the bar car and get a stiff drink.
Well, he's
Callum's still on the roof.
he's kind of he's what you would call dead
Yeah.
because you don't see things how they really are.
He has no head that makes you dead.
No, in this dream, yes. In your dream, yes. He's dead here. In truth, he's quite alive. Though in 3 days he will be without a vessel. And I feel somewhat responsible for that.
Somewhat.
Fortunately...
Oh no, he didn't shoot him.
Yeah, he did.
He didn't kill him. Yeah, that's right.
Fortunately,
I'm going under the assumption that he did kill him.
the blue blood will probably ignite, allowing me to incinerate him. So before the end of the 3rd day, I can just sweep him up into some
Well, blood
ash.
has to be refined.
Oh,
The
to
rail,
be ignissible?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what they do on the ships when they bring it in.
Well, we'll just find some way to burn him down or otherwise reduce him so that when the 3rd day hits, his spirit can come with me and perhaps think about the choices it made in life. Don't worry, I'd do the same for you.
No offense to Dan, because it's great role playing, but that's exactly why Alex just needed to go get a drink.
Well, yeah.
He couldn't be there for that.
Alex doesn't know that he's weeping blue.
He does not. Yeah. I mean, I bet eventually.
Eventually, you're going to be
moisture.
like, yeah.
Yeah, and oh, Jesus.
Well, and I put one thing into Proust's character design that I mentioned in chat. I think it was just him and I talking. I don't think it was on an episode or anything. But one of the things I put into Proust's character to keep him from becoming a problem is none of this gets directed at the group.
Right.
Outside of, he may say screwed up things
Oh
to
no,
you guys.
Proust is amazing.
But he's not like trying to spiritually harvest you in your sleep or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I intentionally wrote the character such that he is offensive to be around, but he is not destructive to the party.
But yeah,
But in character, we don't know that.
No, I'm sure in character having him around is the only thing you might know is he is under a contract. Now, not that he signed, but he is on a lease, which, obviously comes with some kind of satisfaction guaranteed, and him harvesting you kind of, that won't go over
That
well.
violates the warranty, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, also remember that no matter how far gone Proust is, you're not with the Jawbreakers in a vacuum. Like, what is it?
No, he's got a
Garrett
nephew.
is your nephew.
Yeah, he's got a nephew in
You are
there.
from this neighborhood.
Yeah, and he's not. It's not like he
We're
doesn't.
cousins.
It's not
Yeah.
like he doesn't care, but you're not sure what does caring look like from.
From your guys' perspective, when he left for his voyage, were you a Whisper when you left?
Probably not. No.
Okay, yeah. So he was.
So just
if
he was going to make
life on the sea messed
he
him
was
up.
he was a leech specializing in medical devices.
Right.
But I believe the relevant skills for being a doctor fall mostly under leech.
Yeah.
but you can crosswise.
When he left, he was
Yes,
going to
it
make,
required a lot of points,
Plus
it's like going out and being a
Yeah.
wildcat on an oil rig or something. It's like, yeah, it's dangerous, but I'm going to make a lot of money in a short amount of time, and then I'll be back. And,
Yeah,
you know,
ship surgeon on a whaling
Yeah.
ship. He was an educated man. He was a surgeon.
and when he came back, they wheeled him off the thing, and he was screaming, and they rolled him right into the insane asylum.
We were standing there. Where are they taking him? Waving like, "Welcome home!" Have the signs up. and they're wheeling past. Oh,
And probably the first cogent thing you got out of him was that something about the whales being alive, and which probably was a bizarre statement because of course they're alive. They have beating hearts. And, but yeah, and then the next time you saw him, he was weirdly, perfectly collected, but not the same person.
Yeah. I would think like the reason that Treacle even allows him to work with us is more of a pity thing. It's like, you know who he used to be. Kind of no one's gonna let you do shit anywhere.
And he's never behaved in a way that is directly dangerous to the party.
Right. He's super effective. I mean, he's a great asset.
Yeah. Well, as far as whispers go, he's a good one, I guess.
But think of like the normal person dealing with Price.
Oh, dude, I'm out.
They'd be like, no. But because he was family, it's kind of like no one was going to let him do anything.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, gotta let him, like,
And he
has to
really
live his
does
life kind of thing.
what he's supposed to do. He does well. I mean, if a ghost gets loose in your guys' midst, there's no one you'd rather have on your side without cheating the statistics.
right.
You know,
I can punch ghosts.
but I mean, he is min-maxed to grab control of a rogue ghost, and so, anywho, but
He's like that crazy door gunner that you want on your team.
Yeah.
You just don't want to. Yeah. You don't want to go out drinking.
we'll reduce him down to ashes or let him decay a bit, and then I'll harvest the spirit. Then we'll use it later.
Do me a favor and just don't say that kind of stuff in front of Alex. It creeps him out.
Well, he shouldn't be. What will happen the day that he dies? I promise I'll be
certainly
there.
doesn't, and that's fine. But he certainly doesn't need to hear it.
You know that as soon as you guys get to midpoint, that there's going to be someone to deal with this corpse. I don't know if Proust processes that, but
I mean,
they're not going to let you walk around with this.
No, which is why before we hit midpoint, he's going to do something with the corpse. He's going to.
shove him in the hole.
Just toss it overboard.
Yeah, so I'll go through my book and I'll say, well, there's there's an incinerator. And I flip through the book and go, we could just...
Well, can you watch him long enough to learn how to drive a train?
I can figure it out.
On one hand, Treacle's like,
This is my life's dream.
This is my life's dream. This is a headless guy teaching me how to ride. But it's kind of worth it.
that you can't ask questions to.
That's right. I'm not going to ask too many questions. I'm just gonna watch.
I never thought it would be like this.
Oh, yeah,
but
where'd
it's
you do your
not
apprenticeship?
too far off of how I thought it
Don't
would
worry.
be.
Yeah.
How I see him, he still has a head.
Well, that's comforting.
I could draw what it looks like for you.
I can draw what it
And then
looks like.
put the piece of paper up so that way it looks like he has a head.
I could hold it up there if that would help.
Oh,
It might.
He's a flip book of emotions. Just turns the page.
It's like one of those really crappy VTubers.
I would like someone to roll me 2 dice. This is not anything that affects you. Basically, what I'm saying is
5 and 3.
Go fuck yourself. No, this is how many wounded there are. So the higher there's going to be less. So you rolled a 5. So there's some people, maybe 1 or 2 people died,
But one guy got his ass slapped by a hand.
Yeah, I mean,
It's traumatizing.
In addition to the conductor, I presume.
right, yeah, and that kind of
The trauma is he has a new kink.
He can only, that's right. He can only finish now when there's a severed hand slap.
Do a different one each time. Can't be the same one.
We just created a horrible serial killer.
Next on Blades in the Dark.
After dark.
Blades After Dark.
Blades after dark.
No, Blades in the After Dark. That's good.
So here's what happened. You guys can continue to talk. You're in the engine car. The train is well under speed, and it is you, as far as you can understand, it is being driven just fine by a headless fucking guy.
Yeah. I have fine cover identity.
Not that fine.
No, I'm going to dress up as the conductor.
Oh my god.
So when we pull into the station,
Well, that's true. His quarters would be vacant now.
Yeah.
Your dream has come true.
He leaves us. As soon as we reach our destination, Treacle leaves the game.
I'd just like to point out that Eric is playing a spider who's wearing a uniform representing something that he is not.
Shocking, I know.
Yeah.
So that's all going on up there. You guys got like another day or so. There are some wounded and some people, scared, who are, all shook up and stuff. One or two people died who did not die on camera. But they were poor people, no one cared. So,
God damn.
This is just like the real world.
This is
so
Jesus.
immersive.
Let's make it the rich people. The rich people die.
oh no, they're rich and beautiful. They're not going to die. So,
Damn.
They have stories.
And-
I know, right? They're the
right.
main character.
And bulletproof glass.
Did you pay for the bulletproof glass?
They only put it on their
That's
cards.
why they had a wedding cake.
Yeah, right.
You destroyed it, not the bullets. Oh god, they're pissed. They're just
If
beside themselves.
only they could find the guy that knocked over that cake.
They're more mad. They're more mad about the delay.
Yeah.
I've got my fake beard on. Tickets, please.
We gave you tickets 3 days ago. Don't ruin this for me. So,
No.
you guys, I assume, pull Callum off and wake him up. So, what I'm assuming...
Well, no, I don't. No one notices him until he starts like yelling.
2 days
like,
ago.
what the hell?
Yeah, because when I come back over, I think I'm doing the same thing Reggie is. Just,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
You were amazing.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, we're praising this woman.
She's like, shut up. She goes and helps Callum and stuff. You walk into the bar car, and so there's the big ex-con guy behind the thing. He's got his eyebrow raised. Everybody is kind of on the. Everyone's kind of shell shocked. So you have Jackie, you have Reggie.
Oh, before we got in there, I was telling Jackie Alex is dead because I still thought he was dead.
No, he's not. When I climbed up top, he was running along the top of the train.
No, Jackie, they killed him. They knocked him off the train. I'm like bawling.
You guys are at the bar. You have shots lined up from. You're bawling.
I'm bawling.
Like Icepawn's like kind of backs up. Gets on the other side of Jack.
What a cold
and
kind of bitch. I think my brother's dead, and she's like awkward.
kind of pushes you towards
What a
him.
puss.
I'm about to beat this bitch's ass.
Hey, her partner just died. And
Fuck him. Tim sucked.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You little pussy.
Yep.
Look, he died.
He was you walk in, there's this
What
short
is this grappling hook, huh?
there's this short blonde chick, and Reggie about to throw down. He's like, my brother fucking died. He's like, yeah, my partner. Well, fuck that guy. He was the best among us. He ain't shit. I will fucking kill you.
So, yeah, she says he was the best. Well, what about you?
Yeah, you turn around and like, yeah, he was the best.
There's no way he was fucking better than you. That's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. I refuse to believe it.
But you see Reggie standing there. He's got some blood and viscera on him. Not as bad.
yeah, you mean
oh, by the way,
Alex.
Proust does not.
Yeah, Proust,
You took a shower.
Proust comes strolling back down.
You're a
toward
little
the bar.
moist.
Yeah.
Jack's trying to hold Reggie back, but he's not holding it from behind. He tries to get between them so he can touch both of them.
You walk in on this scene. You're going to come in a minute because you were talking to
Yes.
these two. And Alexander's there, and you haven't noticed yet, but there's first it's Alexander. He's alive.
Yeah.
He's got a little bit of blood on, but he doesn't look like.
Oh,
he's
if I
dead.
see him, I push her out of the way. Like
I told you he was alive.
I push him out of the way, and I literally go over to Alex. I wrap my arms around him, which I'm probably like three times your size, and I literally my knees buckle.
No, you're killing me.
I'm sorry for my buddy. He's a very emotional guy. He thought our brother was dead.
I thought you were dead.
I'm fine. I'm gonna suffocate.
Alex, I thought you were dead.
I'm tapping out.
I'm like kissing him on the head, like, oh my god, my brother is alive.
I'm sorry for your loss of your partner, but you were amazing.
Fuck your partner, my brother's alive.
Every time she opens her mouth to say something, he's like, you can tell the rage vial, the rage potion. There's a little bit
There's
still
hints of it that linger.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I mean, you've seen him get into arguments in bars before, but he's a little. This is post rage emotion. Yeah.
It's like you should have only taken a 5 mil Adderall and you took 20 anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get it.
When he finally lets you go, you see that there's well, you know what it is. There is a streak of whale blood on his face.
Oh, then I kind of, I ask for a cocktail napkin from the bartender.
Oh fuck, Alex! What the fuck were you doing?
I must have gotten none on me from Proust. I'm not sure. That was
This is
all over the it was everywhere except on Proust.
I put my finger to your lips. Shut up. Just stop.
You go to hand the towel back to the bartender. He's like, no.
All right. Well,
Keep that.
I'll leave it on the. Just drop it, kind of discard it disdainfully on the countertop, and take one of the shots that's lined up and down it.
Alex, I thought you were dead. How the fuck did you live that? I thought you fell.
Proust saved my life.
Fuck, I'm gonna have to thank Proust.
Proust walks back into this room holding your hypo.
And you hear me as you're coming in. I'm like, hell, saved my life. He saved the day.
So, I like wipe my hand. And I go.
You know how he's got a little bit of
I hold
rage.
my hand out for you.
You know how he has a little bit of rage potion, like you're not raging, but it's just like, you know, you have the same thing going on with the Mercury.
Mm-hmm.
Proust is collected, he's calm, he's that, and he's a little twitchy, blinky, like he can't, like you can't quite stop it. It's not going to Mercury poison you, but it's still like lingering and it's kind of like passing.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Doc. And I don't know my own strength, so it's like a really fucking hard squeeze.
He then sits down at the bar next to Alex and puts the hypo on the table. Says, "Hey, buddy."
Oh no, I got a hey, buddy.
That concoction you gave me, it made me feel like time had stopped simply so my body could be on fire for all of eternity without more than a few seconds passing. I have never in my life wanted so much to die from just the suffering alone. I saw places and things that I'm still seeing, like that man over there, the two people working the bar. One of them looks a little more upset than the other. Hopefully, they probably won't fight, though.
I kind of shrink and
He just wanted to
abscond with a second shot.
He just wanted to bartend once before he passes on, and this is that once. But regarding your shot, it was magnificent.
Oh, thank God.
I've never hated any experience so much.
You're welcome.
No. Yes, I'm welcome because you're thank you.
Yeah, no, I don't know what you did, but if it assisted in any way, Dr. Proust, I'm glad I could help.
I'll help you back someday.
That won't be necessary. We're
it will
friends.
be.
We're compatriots. It's just something that we do. There's no need to keep a ledger or a score. We're fine.
No,
You
no.
collect 5 tickets from
When-
first-class customers.
When you
With the little
die,
punch and everything. Yeah.
I'm going to work very hard to be there for you, to help you with that process.
Well, thank you, Dr. Proust. I appreciate that. That is very thoughtful of you.
Would you like to be a woman? You seem like you would.
the ice blind
I don't understand. Really
Let me get you another.
Well, you're not.
what prompted that, but okay.
Well, you're not making none of those TikTok bodies for yourself, so I figured you just wanted me to pick something that I thought you would like.
At risk of sounding crass, there are things that
Do you like her body?
Can you motion to the ice blonde?
Yeah.
She gets the second shot. Like,
I don't think it would
Keep
be.
them coming.
It would be appropriate to comment upon her physique, but
I'm standing right here.
But she is not ugly.
I know.
She's a fucking angel.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
The hell's wrong with you? Do you not see a real woman?
Oh my
It's a
god.
Valkyrie.
So I
seen a real woman
grab a third shot and I lean toward Proust. I'm like, Dr. Proust, you have to understand that there are limitations to that body. There are sensations and things that
I'm standing right here.
you can only experience in a flesh.
If she's got limits, you don't got what it takes to reach her.
Oh my god.
Then I'll make sure that you
Literally the worst train ride.
a real
Yeah, here's your
Body.
friend.
Well,
I'll
well, thank you, Dr. Proust. Now,
Flint.
at
Whatever.
risk of sounding rude, can we change the subject from
Please.
my next
Please.
body to something else?
Yes, please. Rounds are on me if we change the fucking subject.
Excellent.
yes.
So,
I'd like to perform.
Ice Blonde's body. We have
So-
changed the subject from my body to hers.
No.
No.
From your next body to this one, I'd like to do surgery.
I'm going to the first class.
I
She walks off.
I'm not consenting to any surgery.
Well, I can't imagine.
Reggie,
you
why do they
consented to
always
the
walk
scar.
off?
I did.
look at
I
our
did
company
not.
here.
I did not. But
Visit my scars.
I guess in a way,
No,
Dr. Proust,
yeah,
you
Beautiful,
did.
Jackie.
She goes, yes.
I should have predicted
You're beautiful.
the outcome. And I did
Scared
not.
her away with my scars. Again.
Which is frankly why I find you uncomfortable, because you can't. I can't calculate you.
Oh, that's ridiculous. I'm not a demon.
One, I didn't suggest that you were.
Oh, but you've already dealt with a demon, and I assure you dealing with me will be so much better.
You see, Jackie, this is the kind of shit that gets people not to want to hang out with us. This kind of conversation right here.
God, the bartender's like,
I agree.
It's weird when I'm the normal one.
There needs to be a lot more.
I thought I was the normal one.
positivity. There's,
Jackie.
It's Uncle Treacle.
Yeah, you're normal.
there's
You're
not a
normal.
whole lot of yes and can do and positive thinking around here.
Actually, Jack probably is the most normal. I think we're.
You would like to see us engage in more positive, optimistic thinking.
Yes.
We like grounded, simple things.
If I took time to think, I wouldn't have jumped from the train to the other train.
You jumped to the other train. Oh yeah, that's right. You did.
You jumped from the train
Well, you had to. You had to take.
Yeah,
a
why do you
rest.
think the gun stopped?
because I threw a grenade.
No. There were still like 5-6 guys over there. I jumped over, kicked their ass, came back.
That explains why the gunfire resumed.
Yeah, they were trying to shoot me and they shot their own train.
Fucking rollers. Fucking Goombas.
So, there's still some of them out there. They jumped from the train into a boat.
A boat.
A boat.
Good luck.
Seems
Good luck indeed. The Leviathan that's nearby, it had my mind for a moment.
this is what they did.
Yeah. Ninjas.
Yep. Page 19 of the Blades in the Dark After Dark book. If you want, that's what that picture is. What the rollers did. Anyway, continue.
Treacle sits down in the conductor's outfit with the
God
fake
damn it.
with the fake beard.
Wait,
Well,
hold on. Roll some roll consort.
Okay. Are we still in desperate?
No,
No.
this is just
So
fun
then
rolls.
resolve.
Oh yeah, sure.
The same thing.
Yeah.
6.
No, Uncle Treacle in a beard in a conductor's outfit does not sit down next to you.
The conductor does.
A conductor who you've never met before sits down next to you and asks you for your tickets.
Tickets, please.
Master of fucking disguise. He is a spider. It is like his jam.
I don't
kind of.
have much. It's in my cabin.
All right,
sir. I'm so
I look
sorry.
at the bartender and just kind of tap the bar.
He sets a small plate in front of you. It's pickled eel.
All right, take a bite.
I look over, find somebody that looks smallish, walk over. Give me your ticket.
No.
I go,
I
sir.
I walk back and give up the ticket.
I go. No, my good friend. What I'm saying is, and I pull those those first class tickets that I got in the first class, and I go, you dropped your tickets.
Thank you.
You did get 5 of them.
Thank.
Here, you can have this back.
Can I get a beer too?
Just
I go over to the next table over, grab somebody's beer, and set it down in front of him.
And the guy sitting there says, thanks. And you know what? It's not your scars. You are a handsome man.
See, Jackie, I tell you that all the time. You gotta listen.
He's just scared of me.
I mean, I
You're
am.
a teddy bear.
I'm scared a little. Do I have dinner sometime?
No.
A man without a head can do a lot more than you think, can't he?
What the fuck is he talking about?
he certainly can, sir. He
Do
certainly
you
can.
really want the answer to that question? Because I don't.
I guess you're right.
So make sure you show the coachman your tickets, and if anybody's staying in your rooms, you make sure that they get shuffled back to coach class.
Absolutely, sir.
Yeah.
And if you need anything, I'll be in the conductor's cabin. And I walk off.
This guy's great.
Krause knows because you saw him.
Well, yes, I see other realities simultaneously.
You guys do not know. Literally do not know it's Uncle Trey.
And I do the Superman wink
Was that 'cause
to
we saved-
Proust.
Is that
Ding.
because we saved the? Well, I contributed, but is that because we saved the train?
Maybe
They
Uncle Treacle
upgraded
let
us to
some
first
dirt on that
class.
guy.
Where is Treacle?
I don't know. Maybe he blackmailed him.
Have you guys seen him?
I haven't.
No,
He
last
got
I saw,
this-
he told me to go up top.
Sure he's right.
Well, now that we're in first class, we should go get some wedding cake.
Ooh, cake.
No. No. No more wedding cake. Someone destroyed it.
Some cretin.
I lick it off the inside of the window.
Well, I mean, how did he destroy it? He just...
Oh, it was a fullback. I mean, it exploded.
Yeah, but there's pieces on the window I can peel off and eat.
God, you are a monster.
What a green.
Prima nocta.
Hey, we grew up on the street.
Prima nocta.
This is window
I am the
cake.
conductor.
Okay.
We've eaten dumpster cake. This is a step
That's
up.
fair.
Window cake and dumpster cake.
When you've had dumpster trash cake, you
Window cake
That
is
You
exactly.
guys are
good.
the jawbreakers, not the raccoon.
Now I know my next gang's name.
When you played
The trash
chocolate or
pandas.
rat feces.
the trash pandas.
the trash pandas, yeah.
Okay, so
So how far is the Midpoint Station in terms of days of travel from
it
here?
is a plot amount of time.
Is it more or less than 3 days?
When we started,
no,
it was
no,
like 3 days, wasn't it?
It was 3 days, and we were like halfway there. So
Yeah.
it's
Probably a day.
yeah, probably day and a half. So not 3 days. You don't have enough time before you get there.
Okay, well, then, as we're coming toward that station, I'm going to ask Uncle Treacle if he feels that he's learned enough about operating the train to continue doing it.
I feel that it probably will be able to pick up a conductor at Midpoint.
Okay, then I'm going to incinerate the body of this dude and take its ash so that when the ghost emerges from the ash, I can spirit bottle it.
Okay.
And then also,
You don't have to take the ash. You could take a finger. Or
I said he had
two.
the hand because he chopped the hand
Yeah,
off.
I mean, it is not about the amount. It is about anything surviving.
Okay, so anything that survives.
Because they wouldn't rise from the ash. They rise from whatever body
Right.
parts left.
Yeah. So when the
So I can take like a lock of hair or something.
oh yeah, yeah.
All right,
No,
okay.
it's well. So I don't want to get too legalistic with it. Like, okay, so I shot a guy and he
Well,
was
I'm trying to
balding,
take
and when he
the-
combed his hair that morning, does he?
I'm trying
No.
to take the least conspicuous thing possible.
Take an ear. It's really gross.
You snip a pinky.
Yeah.
It goes into a glass vial with a nice kind of fancy metal cap in some sort of liquid that prevents decay. And then you have
Oh,
like
shit.
a little belt of it.
Actually, yeah, if I went ahead and called I took like a tip of a pinky, I could put that in the spirit vial, so when the spirit
Yeah.
emerges, it's already
It's
bottled.
already there.
I would Chad do the Diablo 2 PvP.
That
Take
is
the-
brilliant.
Yeah, yeah. When the ghost wardens incinerate a body, they hit it with the electrophasmic flamethrowers and all that sort of stuff. Ash is not left behind. Yeah, like the conservation of energy and matter thing does not apply here. They make it not exist. Not exist.
That's fucking
So they fully
ninja
push
clips over
into
here.
oblivion. They fully push into oblivion. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
That's the thing, is that all living things have ghosts, and when they die, the ghosts have nowhere to go. But if you make them not exist anymore, there's no thing, there's no person, there's no ghost, there's no nothing.
Okay, so then
And
I'll just incinerate the body and just keep.
Jackie
that
has
tip of
not
the
figured
pinky.
out why he's been haunted either.
Oh, Jackie, why haven't you come asking for help?
All right.
I'm gonna kill
When we
Jackie's
arrive
pride.
at Midpoint,
Yeah. Roll to see if you can stop the train.
what would that be? An insight?
Sure.
Does he get extra because he knows how to do it?
Nope.
Oh.
Because fuck you guys and your sixes.
Chad, come on, man. Stop trying to game us. We're gonna beat.
At this point, it's a fortune roll, so you got
Yeah.
3 in insight.
Yeah, we're gonna beat you, Chad. Come on, man.
6!
Look forward to prowess fortune rolls.
Does he have
Yeah,
enough dice, Chad? Can
Same.
he get some
I
more
have 4 down
dice?
the
No, he gets
That's
one
the only
dice,
one I have
and he's going to roll 3 sixes on one dice. So no.
All right, so conductor Jerry stops the train, and
Has
then
Uncle Treacle made any appearance over the past day and a half?
no,
I can't wait to be like, where the fuck were you?
and so then when we get to Midpoint, the two things.
I
that,
wonder what the shift relief conductor thinks.
Yeah, I'd be like, you look a little different. Oh, I'm fine. Don't worry. You're always too drunk to recognize me anyway.
True.
The conductor Jerry, first and foremost, reports the people who were squatting in the first class. Not you guys. The people that were
Yeah, that you kicked out.
that we kicked out.
Monocle wearing
I'll-
fucking rats.
Yeah, these monocle wearing guys. We think that they might be a crew. They might be up to something. So
they are gonna be-
security better take care of them because I have found the people who were supposed to be in there.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be some
like ruffians that are in first class.
deep cavity searches until that can get all sorted out.
Yeah, for sure. The rich people look like they for sure were fucking stowaways in that.
Well, after you and Jackie were done with them, they did.
Yeah.
And then also
That jacket looks nice. It's Uncle Treacle's size. Take it off.
so right at whatever happens in
Right.
Midpoint happens, and then as the train moves on, that's when Uncle Treacle shows back up because conductor Jerry told his boss to fuck you, I quit.
It's a spectacular sensation.
That's been something on Uncle Treacle's bucket list. He could never say "fuck you, I quit" to a boss because he's never had
I've
one.
never had a boss before.
Yeah.
This
So
job ain't shut.
check.
I ain't working.
All right.
He gets vacation. He gets to drive a train.
Yeah.
He got to meet Timothy. Got an autograph.
I did. Last
you-
autograph.
last
autograph.
You not only last, you were the last person to see him alive.
That's right.
And you're the last autograph. Wow.
Oh my god, it's gonna be worth so much money.
He was a pussy, but he was a brave pussy.
I'm telling you right now.
This isn't even a job. They were just doing Uncle Treacle's
I want you
bucket
to
list.
roll your insight. What you're trying to do is convince the Ice Blonde to verify your story
Oh,
that is the last one.
like a letter of authenticity.
Yeah. You're never going to sell it.
Oh hell no.
But no.
Yeah.
People.
This will make me the president of the fan club for sure.
My fucking god.
4 is the highest.
She tells you to go fuck yourself.
Well, yeah, she's
After that, will you sign it?
No.
You can watch. No, that's fine. All right, fine.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah.
God, what a woman.
No, it's not the time here, man. My partner just died.
No, I
What the
get it.
fuck you on about?
I'm just telling you. It was the last one. I was the last person to speak to him.
So what?
As soon as this conversation
I show-
ends and she's irritated,
Yeah.
Sorry.
can I get your number?
No.
Get your number.
Jack always asks the wrong time.
Yeah. That's exactly when he comes up. She is agitated. Anyone can see, and he just doesn't see it.
I'm behind Jackie, and I'm looking at her, and I just go,
Here, well, why don't you give me your number
Oh, yeah, here. A business card for the
for the shop?
for the shop.
So she takes it, and you guys argue with a bit more. And she's like, ugh.
we're all going to be
Then she
arrested.
walks over to the guy who was hitting on you and hands him your card.
What a woman, man.
Setting you up.
All right.
Anyway, so yeah, Uncle Treacle shows back up.
Before this, though, so the train's running along the track, right? Outside of Midpoint. You see it off in the distance. It is well lit. Imagine it is like a large oil drilling platform, right? Only it's not drilling oil, and it's much, much larger. But it's like flat on top. It's got these huge pylons sinking into the sea, and there are like lights, spotlights, and stuff. The ocean. Not only is this like a midpoint train depot, it is also for boats too. There are Leviathan whaler boats out there. Some have Leviathans on them, some don't.
Is this a raised platform too? Or
Yes.
is this like, so boats like basically come into port underneath it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. This is like a coaling station for boats. Although they don't use coal, they resupply, recycle. If they're damaged, they can get fixed up and stuff. They don't do any Leviathan processing here.
Okay.
This is just like to get more supplies or repairs or rest or whatever. But yeah, there is a dock underneath this gigantic this gigantic platform out in the middle of the ocean. There's no land. There's nothing. For the entire horizon is just ocean. There are big projectors running the ring of it, right? So there are these. Think of them as.
That's from Dishonored, what a Leviathan whaling ship looks
Yeah.
like.
I know I played the game. I hate it.
And they're a lot bigger than they look, because that whale's like the size of a
It's like
full
an
whale.
aircraft carrier
Yeah.
size.
Yeah, it's much bigger than it
They
appears.
capture
If you
the-
notice, the whales have like tentacles coming off the front of their like
They capture
like
the
almost like
whales.
catfish whiskers.
They process the whales live on the ship as they're going back to dock.
Yeah,
It's like a Japanese whaling ship. Right?
Like a Japanese whaling ship. And
They're
as
not-
they go into the harbor, the whales are screaming.
yeah. It's
Except
really weird.
This has been going on for generations. This is not a horrible, crazy, oh my God sort of thing. This is normal. This is what life sounds like. This is
Yeah.
how, and not only that sort of cultural thing in all of you guys, it is also an intellectual thing of, if we stop doing that, we can no longer power the shields, and we all die.
It might actually feel weird having been on the train because we didn't hear any whales screaming.
Right?
Mm,
Maybe.
good point.
Now that we're back in dock, there may be
It's,
what
it's
comes
like
out
people
there.
who live in like Manhattan go to like try and sleep in the country. Like, I can't sleep.
Well, we
Yeah,
had that
yeah,
eerie
right.
sound of the engine the whole time,
Yeah.
which had like screaming and shit undertones.
Yeah. So anyway, the train tracks actually tilt up a bit to go into it, so the midpoint is actually higher. Now it's relatively flat. The deck is totally flat, and there are buildings there. There are lots of buildings, but they're not like skyscrapers. This is not like skyscraper in the middle of the sea. Think of this as a small town. There is essentially a train yard in the middle to service 2 tracks, so they can pull trains off if they're damaged, like this one is, and repair them, refuel them, that sort of thing.
Did the other one explode?
No, you don't know what happened to it.
It's just
The train's still back there.
Yeah.
Just because it was shot, I didn't know if like it.
Well,
Well, remember
No, 'cause
the
he said-
engineers were killed.
Yeah, so the engineers were killed, and you said some it started leaking its fuel.
Sparking
Yeah.
and shit.
So it may need a lot more. But that is something that I, throughout this time, am going to be keeping a careful watch for, is watching to see if because we're going to be stuck here for a little bit while they fix our train. I'm hoping their train's going to need on-rail servicing, which takes
Remember,
longer.
they're not on the train. They all jumped off the train.
Well, right. But either
Or got
way,
killed.
either way,
Yeah.
I'm still trying to keep an eye out to see
Sure.
if that train comes into station.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I don't think any of us are going to report that, hey, there was another train and it stopped.
Right.
Although Ice Blonde might.
Yeah. Oh well, I mean,
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
she's gonna.
Somebody will go rescue the other train.
How are you
because
going
she'll
to
say it.
explain the fact that our train's ripped up by machine gun bullets?
We're
Yeah.
passengers. We're not the ones responsible for explaining.
No, but somebody's going to mention, hey,
Yeah.
there was another train that freaking turned into a...
Oh, yeah, they're
So-
going to find out.
So
Turned
there
into a
are
Q ship.
authorities on this station.
Okay. So
Because-
somebody will report it. Just not
Well,
us.
yeah. I mean, the train does have employees in addition to the Ice Blonde. And the bearded guy.
Yeah, the bearded cat, the bearded.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to fill out like 3 different damage reports. Damn it, son of a bitch.
So
I mean,
and that's why you quit. You're
Yeah, like,
"Okay,
oh, fuck you, boss.
I took this.
Secretly, you're in heaven.
That's the first time someone's ever thrown their beard at this guy.
I've had it.
It's like, yeah.
part of the uniform.
That's it.
Who the fuck was that?
Turn in your hole punch and your beard.
Yeah, I was about to say that train would be there, like, defenseless waiting for people, but it probably had its own rail jacks that just we didn't see.
You're not sure what happened. These are all excellent questions.
Well, I mean, they cooperated because they stopped next to us while that went
or
on.
did they cooperate? I mean,
Or were they dead?
Well, whether they were doing it willingly because they were bribed or because they were under duress, either way.
because you know that your engineer was bribed.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a shit. Like last game, I remember you brought it up too. Of it isn't just a matter of this guy was bribed and he stopped a train. He knows what's out here.
Yeah.
He knows what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
And he still did it anyway.
Their railjack's job is to protect the train from attack. That train wasn't being attacked by anything but the tentacles, so they wouldn't give a shit if they were attacking another train.
Maybe.
Well,
I mean, you got
they probably would because their job is to protect
Well,
the trains.
remember the
And technically, it's attacking another train.
Yeah, and the tentacles were the train was in danger. The tentacles were up.
Maybe they were fighting the tentacles and weren't paying attention.
Well,
I
you
think
guys
they were-
never saw.
We never saw them.
You never
Yeah,
saw
never
any
saw
rail
them.
jacks on the other side.
Yeah.
I think they were probably dead or something.
Well, unless anyone wants to go back up the tracks, all we can do is conjecture. So.
Yep.
Well, I mean, we had the best rail jacks ever, and so theirs were
One of them-
good.
One of them
Wow.
The other one was a pussy that died.
was all right.
So anyway, on Midpoint though, again, it's not like skyscrapers. It's not like something out of BioShock or whatever. It is a large train station, not as big as the one back in Duskwall, of course, but it is also a customs checkpoint. This is the border between what the fuck's what are you guys called? The Duskwall guys.
Akaros.
Akaros. This is the border between Akaros and Akarios. So you guys, when it comes time, you have to go through customs. You have to go through Akarios and customs. When you come back, you're going to go through Akaros.
Akaros is where isn't Tikaros or Tikaros where we're headed?
I thought it was Akarios. It's been 6 weeks.
Because Akaros, which is the only one that starts with an A, is ours. So there's the Dire Isles, Aruvia, Severos, Skovlan, and Tikaros or Tikaros.
Tykaros. It's Tykaros.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry. Aruvian is Callum is Aruvian.
Okay.
But anyway, so yeah, there is this. The station is larger than a normal station. It's not as big as the central station in Duskwall, which is like the largest on the planet, and it's the main jam, right? But this is fairly large because it is even though it's 2 lines, it services trains, it services boats. They bring in whale oil via train to refuel and parts and supplies. It is a customs checkpoint, and you can tell that lots of other buildings have been built up around this station. It's housing, it's businesses. There are people who live here semi-permanently. There's bars, restaurants, hotels, layover spots, clubs, brothels. There's probably this. It's a little compacted, tiny city. There's probably gangs here, or not gangs. There's probably a gang here, or some illegal trade going on, especially with the customs and sneaking things through. So, but it's not huge. You guys pull into the station up to it. So, they have these pylons that reach down into the water. They're huge, long pylons, right? So for the audience watching this on the big screen or whatever, to describe, like in a Suicide Squad where they always blow up one guy's head to kind of
to make the point.
So how this place defends itself is they have these spotlights and stuff looking in the air, looking at the ground stuff, and they don't have the shields on all the time. When a Leviathan starts coming through or some monster starts coming through, these pylons come down into the water, and then they turn on a shield that arcs between the two pylons. And so the pylons kind of move between us. They don't have the shields on all the time. They kind of like intercept the monsters who turn away. Generally speaking, the monsters have seemed to have gotten the idea, and monster attacks happen, but they're not frequent. And Uncle Trickle knows, there are railjacks assigned here at Midpoint. This is where they have the railjack training school. And the railjack students help protect Midpoint.
So this is the Railjack Academy. This is where you would go.
Start jacking.
Yeah.
Start jacking.
You're not a railjack. You're just a jack off until you graduate.
Oh my God! The noobs are called jack-offs.
Because they're kept off the rails. So
Right? No, it's not sexual or anything.
Yeah.
Don't be crass. But they're jack-offs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But you guys,
Jacks off rails was just too much to say.
right?
I pick up a pamphlet
That's right.
for like signing up.
We're gonna hand wave some stuff here. Obviously there's going to be questions. Midpoint does have a security force. The train is all shot up. This is a major thing. Everybody is like they have drunk tanks. They don't have jails here. There's no prison. Basically, the security forces commandeer a hotel, and everyone's kind of confined to it.
Or detained.
Yeah, it's detained. Nobody's getting like phone booked or beaten with a rubber hose. It's just they need to know what's going on. They need to know what happened, who did what. Ice Blonde vouches for you guys, saying we were sitting in the bar. Something happened. We got attacked. These guys went out to help defend the train.
What a sweetheart.
Yep. She vouches for you. You guys are thanked, and you can. Your purse is full. You get a coin, basically for your troubles.
And we also, before this happens, because I would know, at least that we're going to be questioned about this. So you just make sure that you know that you tell them we know it was the rollers.
Oh yeah. You guys. Oh, you've been through this before. These guys aren't even blue coats. There's no way. You guys dance around them. But no, your stories are all straight. You guys are professional. You know how to do this. So we're going to say that an extra day or two is added to the trip. They haul in the train on the other track. You guys are going to be delayed anyway because they have to repair the train. There are some unanswered questions, like where did the actual engineer go? Who was the guy with the beard? Stuff like that. No clue.
He quit and then disappeared.
Right.
He wasn't even. We don't even have him listed in our records as being an employee.
Yeah, some stuff like that is so weird that that just doesn't make it into the report, right?
Must have hand carted out of here.
Yeah, they don't have. They have like a rail detective sort of guy, but he's mostly concerned with contraband and stuff like that. Eventually, a story is crafted and pieced together that is good enough to put in a report, and it makes it out to the ink rakes, who are the reporters. They have a communication line, sort of thing. And the story gets back to... So you guys, I would say, you guys probably spend 3 days here. You probably only plan to spend half a day.
Wow.
But yeah, you guys spend 3 days here, questioned. corroborating stories, filling in blanks, making sure everything is fine, waiting for the trains to get repaired. The other one is hauled back. It didn't explode. And you guys pin it firmly on the rollers that did this. And then that gets back.
Well, yeah, aren't there like dead ones on there or something?
There are dead people on there, and then you come to find out.
Well, any rollers that are dead?
Oh, yeah, there's dead because they're Jackie killed a.
So you can literally just be like, yep, that's it.
That's them. It looks like this was mainly cargo over there, but they did have a passenger car, and it looks like they were holding the passengers hostage. They killed a couple of them. They only had one railjack, and it looks like they took him out first. They killed him.
We're gonna have to add some heat to the rollers back home.
Massive amounts of heat.
Killing a railjack, probably a big deal.
But
you get banned from trains for life.
but they're not getting as much as you think because something happened. Like I said, they have so this is your guys' story, not the Jawbreakers, because I don't know, Jawbreakers were they ever here, or were
It's a covert mission, no.
Right? Yeah. So Jawbreakers don't appear in the papers, but the story gets back there. It's in all the papers, but it's two-way.
Oh wait, actually, that's a good point. Because we're like heroes. Should the Jawbreakers be in the story?
No, because we don't want publicity.
Right, but that's also good publicity for us.
It's up to you guys.
No.
Okay. Because then it's like, hey, we saved railjacks and we saved.
I get it. I get what you're saying, but no, we don't want the.
Think about it. We can scam so many people with this.
All press is bad press.
It might get you trimmed for a couple of days, but that's it.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
See, Alex is on board.
You guys are in the lobby of the hotel. We're saying it's like.
Is it a nice hotel? Nicer than what we would.
I doubt it. It's like a small town.
Yeah,
shack.
Think of it as it's not exactly like a tin shack, in the middle of nowhere. It is a building and a structure and stuff, but it's not.
So it's not a Fallout hotel.
Right, yeah. Now,
This isn't the destination, though. This is a stopping point for most people.
but
Can't wait to get
there's
there. Demon Time
bars.
is super nice.
And, there's bars that are shitty. There's bars that are okay. There's bars where there's like a snooker table and a piano. That's like, and that's actually like, how the hell did they get somebody paid to have a snooker table brought to Midpoint to stay here? Yeah. So there are
Disgusting.
like nicer ones and stuff.
Jackie, those aren't cake balls. Don't eat them.
Does anyone read the papers?
Well, yeah.
Because a couple of things happened in Duskwall whilst you guys were.
I'm sure Callum read them before we did.
Callum's kind of a news hound. He was reading them. A couple of points of interest. One is that it's kind of hard to get the full story. It's like it's across 4 different papers, and the story is a little different in each one, like more so than they usually are. Apparently, the Queen of Scoveland had a giant riot that was also a party, but in one of the papers, the Queen of Scoveland was a boat.
Well, they're Scovelanders. This sounds. Outsiders cannot distinguish between a party and a riot.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds pretty Scovelandian.
Yeah. The one Callum is like reading it. You guys are smoking and doing whatever. Yeah, it's like Scoveland as well. They're so tall. But he's like, Scoveland doesn't have a queen.
Well, could it be a nickname?
Yours says it's a boat. There's even a picture.
Yeah, Queen of Scoveland.
Mm-hmm.
Who would name their boat the Queen of Scoveland?
I know, but this one says the Queen of Scoveland threw a coronation party at the docks that turned into a riot. Anyway,
maybe it was a whore.
Yeah. Well, but here, check this out. And he turns the paper, and there's like a crime and punishment sort of section.
Yeah, we always read that one.
Well, yeah, that's where all the good stuff is.
That's
Well,
all-
we want to
that's
see
good.
if any of our boys
We
would
call it
pick
the beat sheets. Yeah.
The paper he hands you is sort of I guess revolutionary press would kind of fall into it. It's not like mainstream news. I'm not saying, well, it's Fox fake news. No, it's more. It is literally rabble rousing. It is a revolutionary, agenda driven. We're taking to the streets and taking our lands back sort of press. The other papers aren't really talking about it, but you also know that you have to read between the lines of the papers because it's an empire. They're not elected. They control the news. Anyway, on this one, it basically says Crow's Foot erupts into war. Crow's Foot is where the gang, the Crows, reside. They're one of the biggest gangs in Duskwall.
Aren't they the Red Sash's enemies?
Yes.
Mm.
If they're at war, there's only one gang that could go to war with them long enough to make the papers.
Right. Red Sashes have gone to war.
Fuck.
You guys know who the Red Sash is back, the Jawbreakers.
Right.
Yeah.
Guess who backs the Rollers?
The Crows. Yeah, that makes sense.
Which, out of character, that's why the Crows are going or the Rollers are going to take heat, but not as much as you would expect, because something bigger is happening. And Callum is kind of like you guys know it. You're talking about it back and forth. This is all part of the underworld sort of gossip ring anyway. In the conversation, it's like this has been percolating for a long time. There's been a lot of skirmishes. Callum intimates to you guys that it seems like there was this is not in the papers. This is Callum telling you. There was a defection from the Crows to the Red Sashes.
Well, you said the war was erupting in their territory.
So
it sounds like
if I had
they're
the paper said war erupts in Crow's Foot. Callum says, I am sure it's all over. As much as I would love to say that the Red Sashes can easily hold them back, the Crows are bigger. They're better connected.
Yeah, but if it was a defection, there could be civil war.
Well, not only is it a defection, but last year they lost their leader.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a new leader take over.
Yeah.
So, but that leader has a strong hand. We were expecting them to start fracturing, but they seem to have held it together. We tried some probing attacks.
Nothing unites a group like another enemy.
That's true. I don't know who the defector was. I just heard it through the grapevine. I don't know if it was an operation on the part of the Red Sashes. I know Lard wasn't involved. I certainly wasn't. It was...
Well, isn't this why Lard wanted you to become a free agent, to get you away from that stuff?
I think Lard knew something was coming, and he did not want and he kind of pats his valise, he didn't want our project distracted. But we do have a problem if that's the case. If the Red Sashes and the Crows are at war, and the Rollers are backed by the Crows, and we are affiliated with the Red Sashes, we might get drawn into something. In fact, we might already be drawn into something. How is that little cohort we have?
Which one? You mean the group?
Yeah.
They're fucking worthless.
Oh, well, I guess we should hurry this along.
They'll do what they're told, but...
Can they hold the territory? Not from the Crows.
Give them some credit. They can hold their own.
Well, and you have to think that the Rollers kind of expended some resources on this little failed operation here.
Right.
We'll find out when Brodor came master.
What? I'm in. I'm in. Flip this table. This game's done. Let's go.
Son of a bitch, I'm in.
I pick up his beard and I throw it down again. I'm in.
That's right.
Oh shit! Am I gonna have to make a cohort character? All right.
Yeah, you were like, I'm gonna play Callum. I'm like, no, you're not.
Yes. Well, fuck. That means you got to make my character. If it's a cohort, because I made all yours.
All right.
What are we missing? Interesting. As cohorts go.
I mean, we have
Well,
2 shades or whatever. Right?
I don't know. We'll figure that doesn't matter. What matters now is
There's no balance.
is getting this lens
Or
thing
lurkers.
to Demon Land.
Yeah.
Well, if we're pulled into something, we're pulled into something, and if the moron crew can hold their ground at least long enough for us to get back, which, I mean, I give them a lot of shit, but
You didn't pick them because they were morons. You picked them for.
I picked them because they were locals. That's why I picked these guys. They're all fucking locals. You know, I don't recruit from outside of our neighborhood.
I mean, if you can trust them, that's kind of
That's the thing. They may be morons, but I at least trust them.
I mean, the only one that's not worth a shit is the one that's name is Worth, so I think they'll be okay.
He's the only one who can follow instructions.
Yeah, but he can't think for himself. That's the problem.
I wish there was a thinker among them. I don't think there is a thinker among them.
Oh, what are you talking about? Big Garrett's, he's got a good head on his shoulders.
When he talks back to Uncle.
I just stare at you,
I know it gets him, so
and I light up another cigarette.
I smile.
I don't know. I think the big cat. Big cat's pretty smart.
Yeah, he's got the most brains of all of them. Yeah,
I mean, he doesn't badge and a gun, so.
he's the only official among us.
The only official among them.
Well, there's nothing we can do about it here. We're not going to turn around.
I'll say, yeah, we continue a life of crime. He's going to eventually give up and get an office job and an unsatisfying marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Get too old for this
Retire with a pension.
Yep.
They've been moving down to fingerprinting.
The cat's got a future.
I refuse to take a bribe. All right. So, does anyone have anything else? I have one small scene, and then we could do the after score downtime.
Let's do that scene.
Yeah,
All right. Stuff happens. You know, it's 3 days. There's lots of questioning and stuff, but honestly, all the other passengers are like kind of freaking out about all of this. And yeah, you guys have been hauled. Every single one of you have been hauled into the precinct and grilled, and you're just like, whatever. And you're like feeding them questions to ask you to kind of hurry it along. Like, no, just
You
smack
guys aren't
me.
very good at your job. How about this? You haven't even asked me that yet.
Yeah, right.
You morons are doing good cop, good cop.
Like, I got a lollipop from you. What the fuck?
Which one of you guys is the asshole? I can't tell.
Right. Just slap me. That'll make me feel more comfortable.
Alex is like, for the love of Pete, man, there are 17 things on my person that you shouldn't have let me walk in here with. What are you guys doing?
Right. God. This is protecting our borders.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write my representative. Oh wait, I don't have one.
This is why I don't vote.
No, there's no voting.
Yeah, that's why.
All right. Eventually, you guys work it all out, and you know you guys are allowed to walk around and stuff. So when we do the downtime, you can work out your stress and vice and that sort of thing, because it is a fully functional town, whatever. So it is time. They get the train working again. They have like spares, whatever. They get new engineers. They get a new. You get new rail jacks. The rail jacks you get is not the ice blonde. Unbeknownst to you, she specifically said, "I do not want to work with those weirdos ever again." Especially the guy with the scars. He's too freaky. Jackie.
Wow.
He's beautiful. I was going to say, that hurt my feelings.
Right. Completely ungrateful.
We got 2 of you.
We saved half their lives.
Right. You guys get another railjack and a trainee, so you get a jack off.
Jack and jack off.
All right. The veteran railjack is fine.
He's an old grizzled fucker.
Yeah, he's older than like he looks at the jack off and he's like, "Don't tell me your name. I don't want to know it. You're gonna fucking die."
1 week for retirement, but I have to go back out.
That's right. As a condition of my retirement, I have to do this to keep my health insurance.
Right. Shit.
Oh, you know he's dying.
Yeah.
So, you guys have to go through customs. All right. So I'm going to ask out of character question first. Is anyone carrying anything that would be considered illegal?
I don't think so.
Nope, all my shit's passing through the ghost locker.
I don't think
Yep.
so. No.
I specifically only brought shit that would be like, oh yeah, that's okay.
Who's a demon bane charm?
I
In the
didn't
ghost
bring one.
locker.
You in the ghost locker. right?
Yeah, not here.
Yeah, I didn't bring one.
Nope. All right. So if you have, except for Proust, if you have a demon bane charm on your character sheet, if we do a score at this point, you can't use it because you don't
Spirit
have
Bane
it.
charms are okay though, right?
Spirit.
Spirit Banes, but not demons.
Yeah, spirit banes are fine,
Yeah.
not demon banes. All right. There's a pretty open society. There's not a whole hell of a lot they care about. Yeah, like you guys have all your guns and stuff hidden, and you're getting frisked, and the guy takes your gun out, lays on the table, frisks you, puts it back in. And you're going, I don't give a shit.
I spread my cheeks. Oh, wait, you don't need me to do that? All right, then.
Gotcha, that's our soft.
You guys, you guys are kind of waiting. The problem that you run into is one of bureaucracy. They're kind of like, are your passports stamped?
God damn it, it's just like the real world.
It is just like the real world. Do you have the passport stamped and blah, blah, blah? And you guys all have fake documents. You're not traveling as the Jawbreakers or as yourselves from an official records document standpoint. Now, you're not like, except for Truth, you don't have like fake beards or anything like that. But the papers, you're starting to get the impression that the papers might not hold up to scrutiny. So you're in this office. You aren't taken to an office. This is the customs office where they're going through your stuff. And basically there's this bureaucrat, and he's like stamping stuff, he's like checking things, he's asking you questions and stuff. And there is a man, like, so there's this desk and like a glass wall, like at a bank sort of thing. And you have to like talk, you have to lean down and talk to him through the hole in the glass, and you're getting really pissed off. And this guy is about ready to just say, no, we're closed for the day, you have to come back tomorrow, sort of thing, which means basically, fuck you. There's a guy in the corner, and you've noticed him, and he's in this robe, right? There's this big hood and a robe. He's kind of like leaning against the corner, and he has not moved a muscle. It's a little weird when you walked in.
None of us are supposed to die yet.
Right. It's a little
Take a smoke break.
It's a little weird, but actually you've been arguing with this guy for like an hour. You kind of forget about this dude. It's hot in here and it's stuffy, and this guy's being a dick, and you're like, yeah, maybe you can pull him through the little hole and start pounding him, but then
Jackie and I could pull him through that hole.
right. Well, Callum's like,
Then we don't need to pound him unless we pull him through the hole.
Yeah.
right. He's trying to work with the guy, and he's like, no, let's not do that yet. It'll make it take longer. Well, the guy's about to basically throw you guys out on your ear, when all of a sudden you hear this. There's a fan going like that, and there's people kind of droning a little. It's not crowded in here. Actually, most of the other people, their stuff has been processed through. You guys are like the last ones before you can get on your train. And suddenly you hear this click, tick, tick, tick. And if you notice, you see the hooded figure, you see the head go click, and it's rapid movement to the side lines up with a click. And then it goes, and you can't see any of the features or anything because it's like one of those, Ren Fair hood, I'm a wizard hood type things. And he comes up behind the guy, and the guy like kind of stops and looks behind him. His eyes are wide, and he goes, he puts a hand on the shoulder, and you hear, not from, like, because you, like, one of you, you're like down like this, right? Because you're yelling at the guy through the hole, and so you kind of see this, and who is looking at it, who's yelling at this guy?
Probably Treacle.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be yelling like, you dumb bastard.
Yeah, it stamps right there. It's a 2 eagle head. You said 1 eagle head. I didn't make the fucking stamp. So you look up at this. This guy is shaking, right? And a hand gets put on him, and the hand is it's like the color of this table. In fact, it even has this sort of grain.
So it's like a wood grain.
It's like a wood grain to it, and there's like these sort of joints, but you don't. It's kind of in, the cuff of the sleeve is there.
Very intricate.
I'm gonna reach over and grab Alex by like the scruff of his neck and go and push his face up against the glass. What is this? What is this? What's going on?
You look up, and you, for the briefest moment, catch like the way, like, Treacle slams your face against the glass. You're just at the right angle for just half of a moment. Only you really see it, and you see the face in the hood. And it's not a face. It is just an oblong, like, almost think of a wooden drawing figure that you can pose.
Yeah, an
like,
armature sort of thing. Yeah.
Right. Like, the head on one of those is what you see under the hood.
No face.
Nothing. And then you hear emanating from it, because both of you are right there. These guys don't quite catch it. It isn't coming from the head or a mouth. You hear it kind of emanating from it, like, let them through.
I look at him and I say, very poignantly, it's the machine of the gods. It literally just came in to solve our problem. So, thank you. I just look at it, and I'm like, at the weird angle being held by Treacle, then I just look up I look at Bureaucracy Droid. Like bureaucracy. I say thank you, and I kind of brush Treacle off me,
and I let him go, and I'm just kind of like, what? And okay, yeah.
The guy turns around, and his eyes are wide.
Mine are wide too. We're like sharing a wide-eyed moment. Like,
and
what the fuck was
like
that?
he's looking right at you. He goes, punk, 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 slide, slam, and there's like the barriers in front of you, and you have all of your papers all stamped and ready to go.
I look right at Dr. Proust. When I'm ready, I want one of those.
And that's the game.
It's like a Mokujin, like a puppet.
Who knows?
So, in Dishonored...
You did not have your spirit mask on.
No.
Okay.
Now, in Dishonored, well, he even without it, he omnipresently feels spirits. Like,
specifically ghosts?
Any spirit. Ghosts, demons, any of them. He's...
We'll say you do not suspect an entity. You feel a little something. We'll just call it a little tickle. There's not a ghost, demon, monster there, but you felt a certain reach out. Anyway.
So, in just so you would know, in Dishonored 2, they finally explained the existence of the Tall Boys. Why they were there.
Because John Harper didn't have the balls to actually steal that? So they had plenty left over?
Well, no, actually, because clockwork people are a much more major thing in Dishonored 2.
Yeah, that's in the prequel.
But the reason the Tall Boys existed was because...
somebody really likes Stiltman?
No, it was to keep them above the rats.
Yeah.
It was to keep the officers basically invulnerable. It had nothing to do with people. It was to keep the officers up out of both the flooded areas of the land, and so they could walk above the flood, and then also keep them up above the rats.
So...
And once the rat plague ends, they retire with the Tall Boys.
So what do you guys think?
I liked it quite a bit. I mean, it took us a while to get going, but that's going to happen when you haven't seen each other for a month and a half. You just need to get your gears going. But once we started moving, man, it moved at a pretty
So that
pace.
was my only complaint. It was not what happened, it's I wish more had happened.
Right.
Yeah, the last game session I was at before this one was on July 15th.
Wow.
So the whole 6 week, that because there was one session after that.
Mm-hmm.
That was while I was out at a funeral, which was the last week of July.
Right.
So there was no game all the way through August.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I knew that. I mean, we were on one half of a score. I wanted to finish that score up, but I also knew that we hadn't seen each other for weeks, for
Right,
months.
yeah.
So we need to get the talking and bits and stuff out of our system, which cuts into time.
I don't know. It feels like I just saw you yesterday, Chad.
I know, right?
That's funny. I'm taking 2 XP. I think that is satisfactory based on
Do you guys want? Yeah.
how
Why don't you guys do
XP
your
is
downtime?
earned.
Okay. Well, I would say I definitely addressed something with violence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I address something with violence twice, though?
I did.
Yeah, I think I really only had one situation. That was jumping across. And, so what are the other things? Beliefs, drives, heritage, or background? I don't know. I guess the only thing I can think of was hitting on her and then coming to that realization of,
Oh,
yeah,
it
the
is
scars.
the scars.
Yeah. That's a big thing for his background.
Yeah, that's true.
The only thing I can think of is me getting super upset about Alexander.
Yeah.
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 And yet, he lives.
He lives, yeah.
Did I address a challenge with calculation or conspiracy? I posed as I think that might be the two things, because I posed as the conductor. I got us first class tickets and expressed my background in that it was on my bucket list to conduct a.
Yeah. It definitely expanded Trickle's character a bit, like on a personal level.
Yeah, the training section.
Yeah,
is
it's
awesome.
fun. Yeah, it's really fun.
So, Dan, at one point during the session, you mentioned specifically you like some of the ideas of the other playbooks, but it would cost a lot to do it.
No, it doesn't cost anything. I mean,
It only costs the same amount it would for a special ability.
yeah.
Oh, I thought you had to fill all 3 bubbles of
Yeah,
that.
No.
Everybody thinks that, and John Harper has had to address it specifically, and it is because of the way he made the character sheet does not make that clear.
Yeah, I made a note when you said that to bring it up afterwards, so you know that before.
Because it
you
even
go
says
through.
on mine, it doesn't have 3 bubbles. It literally just has, you fill it in, you
Right.
choose what
Yeah.
it is.
If you want to take an ability for Alexander that
That's
is on the
off
spider,
book, right?
yeah, it just costs whatever the ability costs. It just costs 1 bubble.
Ah, yeah.
But the character sheet makes it look like it costs 3.
I gave myself 3 points, one for you addressed a challenge with knowledge or arcane power, which I obviously did with the conductor situation, and you expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. I gave myself 2 on that because he does that constantly.
Oh, yeah.
You struggle with issues from your vices or traumas. They were described, but there was no struggle there.
Right.
So on the verb struggled, I'm going to say no.
Yeah,
I
that's the
get
thing
that.
with vices and traumas and stuff is it has to be a disadvantage.
Yeah,
You know,
and it was not a struggle. It just was a character trait.
Yeah, I figured out a veteran ability that I'm going for Jack now. The Hunter has the Hound has a veteran ability called Tough as Nails. Penalty from harm are 1 less severe. So that means you can take the level 1 harms without any effect to your character.
Yeah, it's huge.
That seems like for Jack's character,
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah, 'cause
perfect
you're
thing
like
for me
a
to work
tough
for.
and meat shield.
Okay, so the payoff.
That's neat.
super hot.
The crew earns. So who's got our crew sheet? Is this you? Brandon?
Whoever wants it.
Okay, why don't you go?
You want it.
The crew
You got it.
earns.
You touched
Well,
All right, the crew earns
that's
2
what
rep.
you get.
We earn 2 rep per score by default. If the target of the score is higher tier, that's Chad's
You
fault.
can have, like, I don't even know
Take
what I'm
1
looking at.
rep per tier higher than us.
Okay, we didn't finish a score, but we also only have 2 rep in here, so I don't think we've been recording them for our scores. Unless this was this a score?
This was a score. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Anytime we go to
Yeah, two.
this is a score.
Okay.
So 2 rep for that.
I will say that
I don't know if we even did the sheet last time, if I'm being honest. Not last time, like this past game. The time where we did.
Well, we had a
the
couple
street-
where it's just pure role play.
like the
We didn't-
street brawl.
yeah, the role play stuff when we go to the action roles where it's a controlled, risky, or desperate,
Yeah.
you're in a score. and you do all the XP and all that for the score.
Okay.
When we did the cohorts, did we get stuff for? Because we didn't do anything for a thing either.
For the what?
When we did the cohort game.
The cohort does not count for that.
All right. So do we have an I'll assume the Red Sash is our organizational boss.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we're not paying them a thing at all.
No, you are.
Oh, we are?
Remember, yeah, you guys, when you guys did it last time, because we talked about like you have to pay and you can choose not to, but there's consequence, and you guys all agreed that you're going to pay.
Okay. So what
At
is
least
our
for now.
what is our tier?
0.
So, however many coins we get, we lose tier plus 1, so a 1 if you pay in our tithe. 6 coin is the standard score, and then it goes up in point increments of 2 from there, 8 and then 10, or down in increments of 4 and then 2.
6 is a standard?
Yeah, 6 is a standard
Really?
score.
That seems like a lot.
Because you guys can only hold so much.
But remember, this is how we get our individual.
This
ones,
is
too.
the gang.
The gang
The
gets
gang,
it, and then it
gotcha.
gets spread out.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
So 6 coins
So
means
that would have been one apiece and one for
Oh
the,
yeah, standard score.
1 apiece and 2 in here. No, yeah, 1 apiece and 1 in here.
one.
I tell you what, I'm gonna say it's 4 coin because there's probably going to be another score when you get to Icarios. So, which will.
All right, so if we have 4, how do we want to break that up? We only have...
Well, if we did 6, it'd be 1 per person plus. So well, actually,
Yeah.
if I count Proust out, because Proust is the one sitting on all the money.
Proust has the 4, so he's full and can't take another
So
one.
why don't I? Okay, here's what I'll do. I will give up 1 coin, so I'm down to 3.
Lard isn't going to pay you a big safe box full of money to ride on a train.
In
Which was the
return,
expected.
so that
one.
way that everyone can get 1,
Thank you.
and the gang can get 1, or yeah. So that way everyone can get 1, and then the gang will get
Yeah.
1.
Because remember, the gang can only hold so many coins, and each character can only hold so many coins.
We have
The gang-
the
we have
first
a
level
safe.
of vault,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that lets us take another 4. This fills us up the first 4 then, and then we each got 1 except for
Yeah,
Proust, and Proust was giving 1.
Yeah, because Proust
Yeah.
gave up 1 so that everyone could have 1 plus the
Okay,
gang could
so
have 1.
Okay, from an XP standpoint,
Okay.
we execute successful battle extortion. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we definitely get an XP for that. And what else do we have? Contend with a challenge above our current station.
So that one is kind of debatable because on one hand, you guys are right. These guys are maybe a little bit better, a little bit more organized than you. But you also really outnumbered them and stuff. But then the rollers came in with, I would say that, yeah, these guys were above your station. Because the rollers came in with a plan and mercenaries.
I say, and they had deck guns and they had bribed people on both trains.
Right.
They had.
You guys sat down in a bar car.
They had.
They
had
the
with cloaks and.
Right.
Did we bolster our crew's reputation or develop a new one?
You said you were going quiet.
Right. Then the last one is, did we express our goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew?
That's dysfunction, then yes.
Well, no, you have it marked down.
What is it marked down as?
It should be at the top there, I think.
Our reputation's hunger, but
Hungry.
there's nothing. Oh, yeah, hunger would be the only.
I mean, you guys are bravos. You're tough. You beat people up for money. You extort money. And you're also hungry. You want to get. You want to get paid. You want to do jobs. You want to increase your rep. That's kind of your thing.
We stole better seats. Took one person's drink, gave it to another.
Yeah.
We did pass up press though.
Proust went through the whole wealth redistribution thing and pseudo-converted the back end of Snowpiercer.
And you jumped from one fucking train to another. That's, I mean, isn't that part of, what does it say?
Goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the. So essentially, we're talking essential nature of the crew.
So think about what your guys' view of who and what the jawbreakers are.
I smashed the shit out of 2 dudes.
Now, well, that's what Reggie did. Think about the crew as a whole.
what is your crew? What does your crew do? What do they like? What's their personality like as a crew?
We fuck
People
shit
mess
up.
with us, and we teach them a lesson.
And
Yeah.
we fuck shit
I'd
up.
say, yeah,
and
We're
we
not
fuck- and-
we're not proactive.
we
We're
wrote-
very reactive.
And because of us, 2 fucking trains were so fucked
Well,
up.
and even if nobody else knows that the rollers are now going to know, they've popped the trunk on us 2 or 3 times now and failed every time, despite the fact that we are
we're fucking bulletproof.
we're inferior. Despite the fact that we are an inferior gang, they've popped the trunk on us at
Don't
least
say that out loud
twice,
with Chad right here.
maybe 3 times, and they have failed all 3 times to roll us.
Yeah.
In
The rollers like they just keep rolling 6s.
in fights
We're the
where we
rollers
were-
now.
I mean, we didn't necessarily win, but we keep pushing them to stalemate.
We're the Rocky Balboa.
Yeah, don't
in
be
this
right
fight.
now.
Racer away?
What's that?
I would
You took the
say
racer away?
I did, but I can get it back out.
all
Yeah,
that's
no
true,
problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
but you guys have not been able to take the fight to them.
No,
You've only been able
really.
to react.
We've
We
been
haven't had any
reactive
chance to,
very
really.
much so.
We've been too busy with our own shit.
Okay, so the question is, do we get a third one or not? Either way, we've just completed the track, and I think the first 3 were marked with 10 because they're not erasing.
Oh, we just currently have those.
I think it's because it was printed out.
Oh yeah, that you're right. It was.
Yeah, because that was the original one that we were doing online.
So I will mark then that we have.
We need some whiteout.
That's what
We need a new sheet too.
Yeah.
We need to hook the microphones up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So we either have 0 or 1, but we get an advancement.
Yay.
So our choice for advancement, we can either pick a new ability, or we can pick 2 upgrades.
If we get that gym,
What's the ability?
I can max out my skirmish.
Well, we have to get all 4,
Oh yeah, that's right.
and then
God
get
damn it.
and then get mastery from that.
Yep.
So we have 1. We already have.
Yeah,
the
we already
gem.
have. Yeah.
So, Blood Brothers, when you fight alongside your cohorts in combat, they get +1d on all teamwork rolls. Door Kickers, when you execute an assault plan, take +1d to the engagement roll. Friends, fear is as good as respect. You may count each wanted levels if it was turf. Forged in the Fire, each PC has been toughened by cruel experience. You get a +1d to all resistance rolls.
Oof, that's nice.
Yeah.
That is really nice.
Patron, when you advance your tier, it costs half the coin it normally would, because of our patron, which would be the red sashes. War Dogs, when you're at war, -3 standing with high chance of using faction, so when we're at war.
Yeah.
PCs get +1d to vice rolls,
Well, we're about to be in war, so keep that
and
in mind.
while still getting 2 downtime actions instead of just 1. I'd say take either War Dogs or Forged in the Fire.
I thought the Blood Brothers sounded pretty good.
I think Forge in the Fire sounds really good.
Which one's Forged in the Fire?
The one that lets us get an
We have
extra dice
+1d
to
to all
resist.
resistance checks.
Because we resist a lot, and right now that just means rolling 1 dice.
Yeah.
Or the other option is take 2 other advancements. Things like make our
Cohort.
base hidden. Have quarters in our base so we could actually stay there. Have a workshop.
Get more cohorts too.
Yeah.
Isn't there also one for upgrading the quality of our cohorts?
Yeah.
That they go from being
Yeah.
Regular to like.
complete cannon fodder to kind of hardened gangsters.
Yeah, we might want to pick that before Rodor runs his game.
The upgrade cost is 2 for that, so it would take both of them. We could either, it would take our entire upgrade to upgrade our cohorts.
How does that work? Like when we do that, do we just like improve the sheet? Or...
It's
there's
described in there somewhere. There's
There's
a
a
stat change.
there's a
on it.
cohort stat here are your cohorts, and then they when they take damage. So you have these are the cohorts here where it says thugs.
Yeah.
They get weak, they get impaired, they are broken as I do damage to them, and you have a tick of armor. This is like equipment or abilities that they might have. So.
Cohort.
But yeah, there's like tiers of cohorts because I have.
Because
you
when
roll
it says
stuff
like cohorts on that, it's not talking about these, right? The ones that we have.
No.
Those are the ones that you have.
Okay.
Yeah, remember
Are
because
your
we didn't have
cohorts.
a lot of special abilities.
Yeah.
All that. It was very
That's
So-
true.
What it is you say, okay, we're going to attack this bar, and this bar is where the rollers have their base. But you know what? We're going to take our cohort with us, and the cohort's going to watch the back. So we're going to charge in the front, and a whole bunch of the rollers are going to run out the back. The cohort's going to hit them. Well, you roll a certain amount of dice. It's like, okay, well, how well did the cohort do? Well, if they're weak schlubs, you're not going to roll very many dice.
Yeah.
The better they are, the more dice you get.
When you create the cohorts, you're supposed to give them 2 edges and a equal number of flaws. Oh, give them 1 or 2 edges and an equal number of flaws. Edges: fearsome, independent, loyal, tenacious. Flaws: principled, savage, unreliable, or wild. When you add an additional type to a gang or expert by spending 2 crew upgrades, when a cohort performs actions for which its type applies, it uses its full quality rating. Otherwise, its quality is... So that would affect if we were, say, we're going to send our cohorts to do this as part of our regular game and not play them out.
Right, and then how did they do? Bang.
Yeah, that's what Dawn did. When she's playing Reese.
Yeah, when you do Band of Blades, that is an important part of every mission because you have the primary group, and you have a secondary group that also goes on a mission.
I say, why don't we then take the cohort upgrade and start using them more?
Yes.
Well, but up to this point, I thought we had to play them to use them. That we can't Final Fantasy Tactics style say go off to a foreign land and do
I mean, you could do stuff like, okay, well, we got to hit this place, we're going to rob this bank, but the blue coats are going to come after us as soon as the alarm goes off. So we're going to have the cohorts knock over the liquor shop across the street from the blue coat station. We don't play that out. We play out hitting the bank. We roll to see how well they did. Well, they're schlubs. We don't get enough dice. They all got arrested.
Like, I already see the mission
great,
there.
and
because the
quality is equal to your current crew tier. So right now our quality cohorts are equal to 0.
But
that
if
would make
improve
them a quality of 1.
Yeah.
So we already have a pretty obvious objective because twice now, once in the streets and once in their own precinct, we've beaten up the local blue coats.
And in the sheets, too.
And then they finally rolled over and just went ahead and deputized the Tiger and gave him a gun license. At some point they're going to break, and I think we could deputize them, if you get my point.
So they'll be basically the blue coats guarding our neighborhood.
Exactly. Like, we will protect you guys. If someone comes out here and commits crime, this is going to be like the mob's relationship with the Vegas police. It'd be like someone comes out here and is committing petty crime or whatever, we're going to have your backs, and in return, you're going to keep our territory clean.
Right.
And, it's that, or we can go back to repeatedly beating your ass in the streets. And in your own precinct. Like, there's something we could already be trying to coerce, threaten, bribe, just generally take what it takes one officer at a time to flip them.
Right.
To be, an expansion, basically a resource of our gang.
Yeah.
So if we go that route, then these become a quality 1.
Okay, so we need to do...
When you're quality 5.
So we need to do heat, entanglements, and then downtimes.
I will say, if we're going to be playing them occasionally, we should do something about XP and advancement, because playing them with no extra dots in anything is that,
Well, I mean, if you advance them, then if the cohort's advanced, then next time we play them, we should give them some dots.
I mean, Broder will be the GM, so...
I mean, it's his call.
Exactly.
You guys get nothing.
So he can...
Get nothing like it. Eat this turd sandwich.
Yeah. Yeah, you think the rumors about Eric are true being a killer GM. We're gonna burn through. It's gonna be like a game of fucking paranoia.
That's right.
Okay, it's only an expert that gets edges and flaws. Cohorts just get types and quality.
Yeah, because remember, a cohort does not necessarily have to be a bunch of guys. It can be an expert. So we could say we have a doctor.
Yeah.
So wait, since they already have types, right? Shouldn't they already start at a certain thing?
Our cohort type is thugs.
Killers, brawlers, and roundabouts. And then the individuals, like, as a whole, they're thugs.
Right.
The individuals have their thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's covered, and that should be everything with the gang.
And remember, the cohort can be representational beyond just these characters as well. I mean, you guys have gang members,
Right.
You know,
other people,
the nameless, faceless capos and soldiers that are running the day-to-day operations that just aren't on screen.
So downtime, the rest of that stuff, just like heat and stuff.
Heat. All right. Now we did just take a loss in our advancement stuff because we said we kept it quiet. So I'm going to argue for a very low heat on this. Not because it wasn't noisy, but because the noise isn't tied to us.
Well, there's a couple of questions, and you're going to answer yes to a couple of them, unfortunately.
People were killed.
Yeah. So, after the score, conflict with opponent, the crew takes heat, add +1 heat for a high-profile, well-connected target. Well, I mean, you guys are the target, but in the thing, it was high-profile. This is a fucking train.
Yeah.
You know?
But we also just gave up an advancement point saying our reputation was not affected by this. Like, nobody knows our name now. Like,
well...
So if I'm fine, but I want it the same on either. If we're going to take the heat, then I want the point for our name being tied to it. Yeah. If our name isn't tied to it, we didn't get that point, then we shouldn't get the heat.
So here's the thing. That, what you're talking about, does not impact heat. What you're talking about impacts rep.
But I'm saying I don't see how we gain heat if we didn't gain rep. Because heat implies we've created a problem that's tied to our name. You know, people are coming after us.
Or it's just a heightened sense of awareness of the people around us.
Well, you could take the heat as we have heat from the rollers because we beat them. I mean, they're going to hate us more and even maybe be seen by the crows or whatever it was as maybe more of a
No, because heat directly ties to a wanted level. So once again, it has to be tied to our name.
Yeah, you're right.
So, but it has. I'm fine with either, but it ought to go both.
The rules are the rules. The way the rules read is rep and heat are totally separate.
Well, because reputation is how we are viewed by other criminal elements, etc.
Yeah.
And heat is this is how much we have attracted law.
It's our wanted level.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's our wanted level.
I don't know.
It isn't like you guys were riding on a train and got attacked and now you have charges against you. It's a matter of the police's head.
Right. Like we got kick-ass reputation for kicking the shit out of the police, but we also got a lot of heat for kicking the shit out of the police.
But would we really get heat for this considering we saved the train?
Well, and the rep definition is, for example, it says if you keep the job completely quiet, you earn 0 rep instead. Mm-hmm. And we were given 0 reps, so that means we kept the job completely quiet, which
is fine.
Which on heat is a 0.
No, which is on rep is a 0.
No, heat 0, smooth and quiet, low explosion.
No, that just defines it. That's not.
Well, was it quiet or wasn't it? If it wasn't quiet, we get rep. If it was quiet, that's the definition of 0 heat.
It's two different economies, though. They're not. I mean, you're gonna have to hit John Harper up on Twitter. It's to get defined. They're two.
Or at least Arcane.
Yeah, they're two different things. They're not. One does not impact the other.
Which is weird.
Yeah,
actually,
sure.
If you think about it, it's kind of weird. Because you would think heat would make your reputation go up with the criminal world.
Yeah,
those guys.
I'm not like defending it or even saying you're wrong. And like I said, it's. But
yeah, I get what you're saying. So. They don't cross, which doesn't really make sense.
Yeah,
at least in this situation, doesn't make sense.
I think there's a pretty
if we were going to argue
about, though.
If we're going to argue anything, I would go back to arguing that we did bolster our rep, specifically because the rollers got their butts kicked while...
And technically they took all the heat for it.
Yeah.
Right? Weren't they the ones that were blamed for the whole thing? And everybody was like, oh yeah, you're right, yeah, the rollers. Why would they then look at us and be like, well, also those guys that stopped them?
Quite a big story for a train to be stopped and then the people trying to take it get fought off.
Right. Yeah, it wasn't like we started anything and then that was what happened.
So here's the definition of heat. Duskwall is a city of prying eyes and informants, both living and ghostly. Anything you do might be witnessed, and there's always a chance of evidence being left behind. To reflect this, your crew's heat your crew acquires heat as they commit crimes, or a score. After the score or conflict with an opponent, your crew takes heat according to the nature of the operation. So you take... So here's how it isn't very well listed. And you're right. Was this a smooth, quiet operation with low exposure? Well,
No.
No.
There was guns and grenades and explosions.
Was
and
it-
stopping
But
machines
does it
and
matter if it was
bloody
us that started
heads
that?
and-
Like, technically, we actually didn't do anything.
I'll
It
say-
was the third party.
Was it contained? Was there standard amount of exposure? This has nothing to do with rep. It's like, just how loud did this get?
Yeah, and we were visible.
And if you look at it from the perspective of everybody on the train saw this,
Yeah.
and they're going to tell, hey, those are those guys that did that.
Yeah.
But
Now
but
that-
aren't they going to say, hey, those are those guys that saved us? Like,
Hey,
that's
those
my
guys. Those
that's my
guys are
point.
the jawbreakers.
Yeah, that's
and
my
the
point.
jawbreakers are super. They have no idea who we are.
Right.
I mean, they know you're that big guy
Yeah.
who saved somebody, but they have no idea that our gang, the jawbreakers,
Yeah,
saved the
right.
day from the rollers.
But that's my point. Like,
Yeah.
we didn't do something that they would go,
And
those motherfuckers
Right.
ruined the train. It was, they
well,
saved it.
And here, I forgot about the concept of the gang when I said no, keep it quiet.
Yeah.
It really would make more sense.
Yeah, that's why I was like, yeah, let's do that.
Per our sheet and what we determined
Because we're hungry.
is we're hungry. We want that rep. We
Yeah.
want that
Yeah.
exposure.
Yeah.
So I would think yes. We
Yeah.
did.
I think the answer is yes on both. I think we did do rep for this from the standpoint of
We want people to know.
Yeah.
which just
Yeah.
changed it from 0 to 1 XP that
Yeah,
we have right now.
Heat is not committing crimes and having charges. Heat is
Right.
the crew can
Okay.
accumulate suspicion and attention from the law and the powers that be in the city as the result of their last score.
Okay, so we're
rep is how the criminal underworld thinks of you.
I can still see it as spinning the heat as far as like, yes, we didn't start anything. This goes against what I was
so
saying.
remember that's a different phase.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
at the same time, what was a crew doing on this train?
Yeah.
And
So,
clearly
yeah,
those other guys were targeting
Yeah.
it.
We'll let's change it so that way, yes, we get the rep and we get the heat.
Yeah. Okay, so that's
What's up to you
done. That's done. So we're still going there.
on heat?
Down the heat, yeah.
So would you say it's loud and chaotic with high exposure?
Yeah.
Then I don't think it was wild with devastating exposure, but it was loud and chaotic. So that's 4 heat right there. Add +1 heat for a high profile or well connected target. I will say opposition.
Hold on.
Instead of
Can I say a book? Because I'm reading the FAQs right now in the relationship between rep and heat, and it sounds like that what Chad's saying is correct, but nonetheless we should be getting rep. Because rep is our reputation within specifically the in the know portion of the underworld.
Right.
So could someone find out it was us that fought off the train robbery if they paid money or kissed the ass of the right person? If the answer is yes, then our rep goes up. It's not public. It's underworld in the know, whereas heat is what the public and law enforcement think of us. So our rep should be going up for this.
Yeah. So you earn 2 rep by default. If the target is a score of a tier higher, you get +1 per rep, +1 tier per rep. If the target is a lower tier, you actually get -1 rep because you're picking on the little guy. If you keep the operation completely quiet, now that doesn't mean we are in the paper or not. I mean, a train blew up. If you keep the operation completely quiet so no one knows about it, you earn 0 rep.
Yeah. And I don't think we're going to, when we get back, we're bragging about it.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's for heat. That's 4 heat.
Also, we were all drunk on the car. Hey, remember we're the jawbreakers? Hey, we're the jawbreakers. We did it.
Right.
We saved everybody.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
All right, so we're getting on the stuff we're getting. Now we're
4 heat.
Yeah.
Add
Four is
+1
really
heat.
high.
Add +1 heat. Add +1 heat for a high profile or well connected target. God damn it. Add +1 heat if the situation happened on hostile turf. No. Add +1 heat if you're at war with another faction. Yes. Add +2 heat if a killing was involved. Yes.
plus how many?
2.
2 for killing.
All right, so we're up to
Not
8.
2 per kill.
What the fuck? I feel like we're getting way too much heat.
Yeah.
This was like a terrorist act.
That we didn't cause.
Well, like I said, it's not that you have charges against you.
No, I understand
drawing the
It
object.
just seems like such a weird way to do it when something like that's like saying somebody that was helping during a 9/11 is charged for fucking treason because they helped take people out
Well,
of
no,
the
see
rubble.
that's just it. You're not being charged with anything.
You know, I
It
get
is
that, but you get the same stigma. It's just weird.
Yeah, you're poor.
That just doesn't make sense.
I mean,
We get we get attention. We don't want to get attention from.
you're poor and
Just
you're the cops don't like you.
Yeah.
That's
All right, so we're up to 8.
you better
yeah.
check your privilege.
What else we got?
And we got cleared by the rail.
We better not
That's like
have more.
that's like above the cops. That's like them saying, "Oh yeah, these guys they're good. They helped us." So like, wouldn't that save us some heat?
No.
That's weird.
No, that got you through customs. That got you so they just didn't throw you in the clink.
Is that everything?
That's everything.
So now what do we do?
So now you go to prison.
What?
But no, you mark your heat on the thing. All right. So how much heat do you have?
40.
Now after that 8?
8.
Yeah, so we had 2,
Mm-hmm.
so that takes us to 10,
Wow.
That puts us
which
at
that
a
puts us at a wanted level.
So you have a 1 on wanted level. All right. That's awesome.
Does the heat then
so-
go away?
That's so bullshit. Yeah, it's filled up and then
Once it fills up,
Okay.
you hit a 1 to level.
The only way to reduce your crew's... Okay, wait, hold it. When your heat reaches level 9, you gain a wanted level and clear your heat.
There you go.
Okay.
Any excess heat rolls over, so if your heat was 7 and you took 4 heat, you reset it to 2.
So we have
heat does
1
roll.
heat.
We should just let
and a
them take
wanted
Callum.
level.
He's not worth it.
Okay, so
Higher.
we have a
The higher your wanted level, the more serious the response is when law enforcement eventually takes action against you.
Those fuckers hate us anyway.
They'll send a force of a higher quality and scale.
You guys saved all those people on the train. You're under arrest.
I know how to lower heat. I don't know how to lower wanted level.
I don't think you can.
You can. Also, your one level contributes to the severity of the entanglements. So let's do the entanglements.
Yeah, with the entanglements, after the payoff, roll dice equal to your wanted level, so it'd be 1,
Mm-hmm.
and roll the result and read the result according to your heat.
Which is 2. So you roll 1 dice.
Yep. And
on
we
the
always roll
first
1
trip.
anyway, so this doesn't change
And we don't
anything.
and we haven't gotten to the point where we reduce heat yet.
So let's...
1 die.
Yep. 4 is rivals or quiet undead.
Quiet undead.
The neutral faction throws its weight around. They threaten you, and a friend or contact or vice purveyors forfeit 1 rep or 1 coin per tier of the rival, or stand up to them and lose 1 status with them. Which we don't play that. That's the tax accounting game we don't play, so we'll figure something out if you want to do that. Unquiet Dead, a rogue spirit is drawn to you, perhaps its past victim. Acquire the services of a whisper or a railjack to attempt to destroy or banish it, or deal with it yourself. So that would either be rolls or role-playing or something like that.
Oh, the only way to lower your wanted level, it looks like, is throw somebody in jail.
Mm-hmm. There's
Sorry, Callum.
Okay, so
You gotta say all this shit, you asshole.
so here's the thing.
Just give that stupid lens.
So here's the thing. There is a prison mini game where your
really?
character can come out with additional skills and abilities that they learned in the clink.
Yeah, because I've been rolling smokes and selling them in the yard.
Right. Poop smokes.
Poop smokes in the yard.
Nothing but lifting. I'm
Yes,
buff as
let's-
fuck now. Thought I was
But-
big before.
The severity of the prison sentence depends on your wanted level.
Oh, this is interesting. When one of your crew members, friends, contacts, or a framed enemy is convicted and incarcerated for crimes. So we could potentially frame an enemy to go to jail.
Yeah, get the
Rollers.
rollers.
Yeah.
We kind
Thrown
of
in
that
jail.
already. We kind of like we're like
That's
hey,
what we're doing. We're starting it.
set it up.
So, but remember too, that's fine. That's cool. They could get advantages. You're feeding them into the
Yeah.
prison system. So there are prison claims. Like you can get thrown into prison.
I feel like
prison
this
claims.
system is so fucking convoluted and stupid for no fucking reason other than just to have extra busy work. I was like, oh, you guys finished the game? Welcome to 2 hours of bullshit paperwork. The fuck is this homework nonsense?
So, what do we think about that? I like the idea of just throwing one of them in, and then we roll the dice now and see how they're going to come out.
Mm-hmm.
But it won't come out until, say,
For 2 months.
Brodor's game.
Right.
Yeah, because a 1 to level 1 is a month or 2
Yeah.
in the clinic.
I'm all for that. Let's
Yeah.
throw one in and let them come out with something potentially.
Prison tats.
Yeah. So incarceration is dehumanizing and brutal.
Only
the
on the
renown
ears.
of your crew is your only real defense inside. When you serve your time, make an incarceration roll using your crew's tier as the dice pool.
Okay. What tier are the rollers?
Well, okay, so let's do the entanglement first.
Okay.
Which entanglement do you want? Rivals or Unquiet Dead?
Let's do rivals.
Okay. So neutral faction throws its weight around. We're just going to say it's the rollers. They threaten you, a friend or contact, while you're vice purveyor. So this is basically the rollers back home doing something against the cohort.
Mm-hmm.
So what does the cohort do? Does the cohort pay them off
No.
via 1 coin or 1 rep? Or per tier of the rival, your standard tier? Or do they stand up to them and basically the rollers hate you even more?
They better stand up to him or they're fucking out of here.
Yeah.
So we got a fucking gym. They should be all pumped up.
We spend that coin on that gym. Y'all better be using it.
Right.
How come every time I walk in this fucking gym, none of you fucks are working out?
Yeah.
Look, I got my own gym. I don't use this fucking
They
place.
stood up, and we now the rollers hate us even more,
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
which I like because
Right.
Yeah,
Fucking.
I'm fine with that.
We're becoming our nemesis.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's get this out of the way then, because I'm curious. There are tier 0,
Okay.
so they're only going to get
Who specifically are you throwing in? Or framing? So what we're going to say is basically the Ice Blonde vouched for you guys,
Mm-hmm.
worked with you, pinned it on the rollers, which was them anyway. You guys, everybody knows each other, so there was somebody.
Yeah, that motherfucker that locked me in his bar and set that shit on fire.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you
That-
got so Treacle's got the book of grudges here.
Yeah.
I go, that motherfucker.
Just
I
a
like it.
black book with red ink all over
Yeah,
that fucking
with
shit.
one name on it.
No, it's one name over and over and over and over.
Did that?
It's more deranged.
They did that in the Quiet Man.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, write this name down in the book. Okay, all right, now cross it off.
Alright. We want low. We do not want a 6.
Okay, well, hold
Okay.
on. So it is the tier level of the PC. So would you guys now? I have not made a decision on this. I haven't really thought about this. You tell me your opinion. The opposition that the rollers have thrown at you, the kind of damage they have done to you, the things they've done to you, would you say that they are on the same level as you, or that they're a little bit better than you, or a little bit worse than you?
Are they getting highly bankrolled?
That's what it seems like.
If they're
Yeah.
getting highly bankrolled, I'd say they're on our level. If they're actually coming up with this shit on their own, I'd say they're above us.
I still think they're
Yeah, they seem to have a
because
lot of
even
resources.
with the bankroll,
Yeah.
they never succeed.
This is
And
this is like a proxy war, except we're not getting the same level of support as they are.
I feel like
But
they
you're
think,
winning the battles anyway.
Yeah, I think they're thinking of us as nemesis, and we're
You
just
guys
like
are a fantastic deal for Lars.
these annoying
paying us
rollers
enough.
keep
He's
messing
got
with
a
us.
whole bag of money that's earmarked for you. He's just lining his own pockets.
That's
with
right. He's sitting on that shit.
it. Yep.
Son of a bitch. We're gonna flip.
Another guy stealing your money.
Motherfuckers are always.
I said I think they're tier 0.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think they're better than us.
You get
Yeah.
1 die for each PC tier level,
Okay.
but you always get 1 die at least.
Yep.
So
All right.
Roll low.
we want low.
Because this
Wing it.
5.
this affects their prison claims, not yours.
You keep your head down and you do your time without incident.
Yeah, no problem. He walked in and out of there. He got 3 squares a day. He met
That's better than he was getting on the street.
Yeah.
Vacation.
he met a really nice guy.
I
They
bet
had a
he
lot
did.
in common.
I'm sure he did.
Mm-hmm.
Butt sex.
If you
They
if
like
I
the
would have
smell of
rolled
nuts.
1 through 3, it would have been horrific, and he would have suffered a level of trauma. If I would have rolled a 6, then they would have gotten a prison claim, rep with a faction that he assisted as well.
Yeah.
And he couldn't have got crit because he's a tier 0.
Tier 0.
Well, I think that was a good outcome then.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Hard case. This is a prison claim that any one of you can get. Your reputation as a tough inmate bolsters your crew's image at Duskwall. When your crews advance a tier, it costs 2 fewer coins than you normally would.
God damn, fuck.
It's hard.
I'm about to cause some fucking crimes and go into fucking jail.
All right, guys, I'm going into jail again.
Cell block,
trying to get that extra coin.
cell block control. Your crew has a cell block under their total control, guards and all.
Oh my god.
You never take trauma for incarceration.
Okay,
Guard
so-
payoff.
Holy fuck, wait, you can take that one.
And
You can take that one and then just keep getting thrown in jail to it's successful.
Basically, Reggie takes an L.
Yeah.
Reggie takes an L, you throw him in prison, and then he just takes control of a cell block. Now there's
And do you get that all the time?
Yes.
Every time? So
Yes.
once you get it, you keep it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the Blades in the Dark game that I really want to run, right? Is that it's just prison.
You can.
It's Oz, but Blades in the Dark.
Oh
can
god, no,
run.
please. No.
There's a whole thing where you can just run. Like, there's prison claims.
Too
There's a
much
whole
rape
map.
and Oz for the rest of
There's a
the
little
Well,
rape.
now we don't need to reduce heat because we have no heat anymore.
Yeah.
Because we went through all of that. We took we took it on the chin with our gang back there, although that just got us more hatred that we don't mind having.
So,
Fuck him.
can you run a score in a prison using the prison territory stuff? Smuggling. You arrange smuggling channels inside. You have +2 load while incarcerated, starting as 0 for a prisoner. If you take this claim twice, you have 4 load while serving your time in Iron Hook. You may also choose to carry coin in place of load for purposes of bribe or acquiring assets in prison. You may reset these items anytime your crew has downtime. Yeah, it is designed so that
It sounds like it's designed that you want to go to prison at least once or twice.
you guys will get wanted level because you're actually criminals, unlike my other 2 campaigns. And that with that, like you said, well, fuck, we're getting a lot of heat and we just showed up.
Yeah.
You're supposed to.
Yeah.
You're getting wanted level. You're supposed to.
Right.
And then a couple of guys are like, okay, we're going to take it. We're going to get on the inside. It may fuck our character up, but we're going to own this damn prison.
Yeah, I thought of heat is way worse than that. Because that sounds like it could be beneficial.
Right.
All right.
What this reminds me of is
All right.
Sons of Anarchy. They had a guy who was like serving life, and because prison is a mashup of all these different factions.
Yeah, it's all these communities.
They would filter stuff to the prison to him so he could work out stuff with other gangs and stuff like that. So that's what that sounds like. Is you're acquiring assets, meaning hey, I made a connection with such
You
and
get
such a
bonds
gang.
with people, and
Right, and then it translates to the outside.
Guard payoff. You claim several Iron Hook prison guards on your payroll. Take +1d to your tier roll when a member of your crew is incarcerated. So that roll that he just made, it just adds more dice to it. Yeah. Look at it. It's the whole map thing too.
dude.
All right.
Yeah.
So what else do we have left to do for our end of this?
You have to your downtime actions.
Right.
Now, is that individual or is that
Yeah,
like
it's
that's
individual.
for us? Like when say we do the one that makes it to where we never get harms or whatever when we go in there.
An individual gets thrown in,
Yeah, but the group gets.
but the
benefits.
crew gets your crew. We throw Reggie in.
Yeah.
He owns the cell block.
Yeah.
That is a jawbreaker cell block now.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, a roller comes into that cell block.
No,
They
it's
ain't coming out.
It's through.
Yeah.
All right. So downtime actions. It's been a while, so I don't remember the role details on.
Okay, downtime. When you're at liberty between scores, find some respite. You may pursue 2 downtime activities from the list below. You recover all your armor usage. During downtime, you may perform additional activities from the list by spending 1 coin or 1 rep. For any downtime roll, add +1d to the roll if you get help from a friend or a contact. Remember, that's like if you have an individual for Koa, like an expert.
Yeah.
That's you use them.
So my gym can earn coin now. What kind of clock am I running for that?
Let's do a 4 o'clock one for 1 coin just to start out.
Yeah.
We'll see if that goes too fast or too slow. We can adjust it.
Ooh, I overindulged.
Oh, you overindulged on a freaking
You just roll 1, right?
oil platform in the middle of an ocean.
Wait a minute, you went to a cat house on an oil
Is that
oil
feel free,
derrick.
or is that just...
Okay, no. That doesn't feel. So that's a fortune roll.
Right.
Actually, here, that didn't happen.
Okay.
As exciting as this paperwork is, we don't have anything else. Like,
Some people love paperwork, Dan.
okay, well, I mean, I can leave the mic running.
You know, people can just always push stop if they want.
Okay, well, this is the end of the games. If you want to hear paperwork, keep listening. If you really don't care, then you won't miss anything beyond.
We'll allow.
And if you
to
stayed
press
this long, fuck you.
that.
I'm going to do my paperwork later.
So pick a trait.
You do
The
it now or you
up
do
and
it
down?
never.
I'm going to do skirmish because it's a boxing.
No, up and down.
Oh, up and
No, I'm
down.
just kidding.
Prowess.
Right. And actually, think about it. So that's fine. That's what you roll. From a story standpoint,
Okay.
Reggie's not running it right now. It's one of the cohorts.
Yeah,
Right
it's
that
my...
way.
It's Flitlana.
Ah, okay.
That's my my pugilist friend.
Oh, that makes sense. So yeah, roll that May dice. Do you have any major advantage? No, in fact, I would say you actually have a disadvantage
Because I'm not there.
You're not there.
Yeah.
All right,
So-
I'm gonna
So should I take one off?
Take one off,
Okay.
and then now
May I
roll.
borrow some dice?
Some dice, yeah.
Please and thank you.
5. Mixed outcome, limited effect. I mean, it's hard to say. Rather than getting deep in the weeds, we'll say it just fills in 1.
Okay.
All right, so indulge in my dice.
Shit's happening in the neighborhood. Svetlana's keeping it going, but you know,
She's a hard ass.
she's a hard
She's turning
ass.
people away almost because
Alright,
of how much
well,
we should
pretty
actually.
Right.
We just got rid of all of our heat, so we're getting 2 heat, because that's what I got for my overindulgence.
Oh my god.
I apparently went bragging about our exploits
Right.
Son of a
at the
bitch.
whorehouse.
Yeah, Jack's like, hey, I'm a hero. Do I get a discount?
I jumped from one train to another.
Should have seen.
All right. So
The hoes are
less
like,
stress.
is that like a
But
euphemism?
then I also
But the problem with
want
this story
to
is
then take the
he always
reduced
starts off with him in the
stress
shitter
action.
first.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
in great
That was
detail.
cool.
Right.
Sorry.
It's like, man, it was like trying to pass a summer squash. It was
It's like a baby hippo was coming out of my butt.
right.
Because the others didn't really.
Have you ever had a boxing match in your anus? That's what it felt like.
The others didn't really fit, because, like, tapped wouldn't make sense that I
I'm gonna
lose my
train
purveyor
you.
back home
Right.
when I'm here. Like, being kicked out here would have made sense, but it says you lose
Well,
your current purveyor.
Wayne, they had you penciled in for a 3
Thanks,
o'clock
Steve.
that you forgot about. You didn't
Much
show up,
appreciated.
and so now you're on the list.
So that was my.
Alright, well I will so he's bragging about it. I'll use my second I reduced my heat by
Your stress?
my stress by 5, so I'm down to 1. And then I'm going to reduce heat. His heat.
Mm-hmm.
So a D6. I have connected. So during downtime, you get a +1 result level when acquiring an asset or reducing heat.
Okay.
So I'm going to roll, and I add 1 level to it. So a 3. So,
Adding 1 level would take you to a 4, and that'll clear up both of them.
Yep.
Yep. So
Cool.
I say to the hooers,
Who is?
don't say anything. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking.
He kept talking about poop. It was all poop.
Oh, he knows about that.
Is anyone doing, besides Reggie, is anyone doing a long-term project?
Nope.
No, I actually I did training and marked an XP.
Yeah. And that makes sense because any project you guys got going are all back home.
Yeah.
Right. He actually has a friend who's running his gym.
All right, well, I'm going to kill it here. Y'all have a good
All
night.
right. Later.